We're back.
Hello.
We're back
Oh,
after so long.
It has been 3 weeks.
Spin.
Also, yeet, since Sky won't say it.
I
Oh,
just
sorry.
said it. Did
Did
nobody
you?
hear me?
No.
No.
Yeah, I didn't hear you.
I said fucking yeet, dumbass. Don't fucking steal my shit.
No one heard
No.
it, dude.
No one heard you say
Yeah.
it.
Oh, by the way, might have give a jovial yeet start.
Yeah.
Boys,
3 different
stop
yeets.
stealing my shit.
I'm a DM.
What
All
did you
DMs
say?
do is steal shit.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I know. I have a 28-page document to fucking prove that.
Exactly. And you're not even the DM. Imagine what my notes look like.
That's a real hot campaign, Conrad. I wonder who wrote it.
Foundation. You know, like when
Brandon
you
Sanderson, probably.
No, I had written this campaign before by Brandon Sanderson. The second campaign, though. Oh. Anyways.
Hey, you fucks, what happened?
All right.
Yeah, who would have to recap last time?
So the Gathering of Five has begun, and the Archfey, the Lord of Roses, gives us an oasis to enjoy. It is just for us and any we would care to invite, want to have present in any capacity. Time is going to go a little bit differently in there. We can exit and go to the gathering at any point, but we can also spend as much time as we effectively like. It's a little pocket of Feywild magic on the edge of this gathering. So, a few things to cover. Fervith needs to learn how to swim. We're working on it. We have a list of characters, new and old, that came in to join us at the Oasis. Esther's entire family, Issa, Archibald, Fervus's former mentor, happens to wander in after feeling a compulsion to do so. Apparently he's heard rumors about us, and he and Carson know each other. Carson, by the way, is also here. Carson once tried to sell Archibald an interesting potion that makes clothing explode off of somebody. No other effect. That's just kind of what it does.
I love Carson sometimes.
We find out that Esther's mom got Esther's former partner exiled. So, maybe we don't have to deal with that here. Maybe. We'll see. Esther offers her mom some fane, but she turned her down for now. She also offered to take the younger children onto the castle for safety, but there's a little uncertainty about that one for now as well. It's a question that's in the air. It hasn't been turned down completely, I think, but it's not a hard yes either. And then at the end of my notes here, I've got written down an Algean prophecy. Something about a heart beats again in ribs of earth, the truth will become one with the Genasi, and it will never leave again. This is something that Ferbus has heard. I do not have any further notes on it. It's a big old question mark we have right now. We should probably just ask everybody we know who is smart, wise, and or ancient, because that's what we probably should have done with the egg the first time we got a riddle.
I'm not
figured
saying
it
it would
out.
have been a good idea, but
I figured it out eventually, and that's
Yeah.
what matters.
But aside from that, we just kind of have a nice time. We've got a couple of little huts on the Oasis. Been splashing in the water, swimming and learning to swim, chasing frogs. A few of them have gone out on dates. We're still waiting on Garil to wake up on the castle. I believe he is due to fairly soon and come down and take Esther out, but...
that's in a couple days, unfortunately.
Oh, a couple days? God. I thought it was just one. Alright. I was
Nope.
off. I was off. Well, until then, we are just kind of doing our thing, and I think at the very end, Ashton and Rosalind were gonna head out into the gathering to have a look around and do some stuff, but I don't know if anybody else is heading out or if they're all staying in the Oasis for now.
The original plan may have been with Xenia.
I think it may have been, but also...
I remember you told me that
Yes.
game.
Yes, I
Whoever
did
wants
kind
to join
of
Rosalind can
suggest
choose to
Xenia.
join.
You know what? Xenia and Sammy can come along and they can just have a, like, Not quite a double date, but kind of a double date.
I was gonna say I'll third wheel, but okay.
No,
Good idea.
the only reason that I was thinking maybe not Xenia is because Xenia's with Sammy right now, and I don't want to interrupt that. But, that being said, the offer is going to be on the table in and out of character.
Okay.
So, as we pick up from this peaceful twilight.
By the way, Conrad, do you want music going? Because I don't hear anything.
I forgot to click it.
Okay.
As you all wake up from this peaceful twilight, not quite asleep, but it was this brief calm that took you all over. You're not long rested. You could take a short rest anyone needs it, but the moment of peace begins to pass as you see the patron begin to rile up a bit of energy from some of the people who had just taken a few hours with their significant others, their friends, in Purvis' case's family. And many of the Mackin family have either decided to retire for the night or to go visit other family. And it's this kind of that 11:30 at a party where at 10 everyone got super tired and just chilled for an hour or two just because they'd been doing a lot, and then everyone's kind of getting back to speed. So, Rosalind, I believe you are first to rouse and be ready to do other things than just relax for right now. Heading towards the main part of the gathering. Who would like to join her?
She's gone.
would.
So you'll probably get Sammy up, or if she still wants to rest, then I'll just be Xenia.
Sammy will take the chance to just kind of... So, time has stopped here, right?
To my knowledge, I suppose it's either that or just really slow. The guy out
In
there
that
who
case-
did this, you can ask. He's kind of cool.
In that case, you go have fun. I have so many reports I need to write.
I did. Take care of yourself, please, gods.
I have as much time as I need, I think. So sure.
Yes, but if I find you passed out in a pile of papers, I'm going to be a little bit sad.
How about instead you just curl up next to me?
Deal.
Alright. And she kind of gives you a pat on the arm and just go have fun. I'm sure your friends miss you just as much as I do.
Xenia's like just gonna go like the back of her hair and just give a little scritch and then leave.
She smiles up to you and waves as you head by, pulling out a pencil from behind her ear and some papers out of a small bag of holding.
I forgot I was tall.
Yes, you are quite tall. So, I believe that's basically everyone, right? Is Ashton going home?
Yep.
Alright, and Purvis, will you be joining as well? Keep in mind you are muted, John.
I suppose so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, as the party kind of takes a quick break from... not quite
Taking a break.
festivities. Yeah, kind of, yeah. You all head out to what time of day? I'll say Rosalind gets to pick. What time of day are you looking to leave?
Mid-morning.
Mid-morning?
Mid-morning, yeah.
So in that
Plenty-
case, you guys could have taken a long rest in that case.
Oh, okay. Thank God, I was missing spell slots for some reason.
Shenanigans, probably.
Definitely should get
Probably.
So you all step on out, feeling refreshed. Ashton, I'll let you decide how you're feeling, but it's definitely a change of pace.
Mhm.
And into a energetic, already ceremonially opened day for the Genasi. The markets are in full swing. There's not much planned out of like big events until afternoon, because it gets quite hot around noon and they want to give things a chance to cool down first. But the morning is kind of just time that everyone enjoys the festivities as opposed to going about the various responsibilities that many people have while here. So I believe, Rosalind, you were headed towards the market,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Alright. I'll say the thing you plan to buy,
Mhm.
you managed to do so discreetly for a simple 5 gold.
Okay.
Anything else anyone wants to look for in the market, or if anyone wants to roll D100s, please feel free to.
Yes.
D100, D100.
D100s are fun. Though I guess as a side note, I'm gonna try to steer Esther towards things like what do you think of these pillows or this bedspread, or
Hello?
just slowly replace. Yep, and pillows are gonna be Xenia. What is your opinion? And just kind of slowly see if we can replace what was lost in her room.
Okay. So, first of all, Rosalind, you find a wonderful assortment of pillows that will serve a job. Esther, there are some actually that are meant for fire genasi for things like this occurring. So rather than being made of things like straw or feather down, it's done with very hardy plants that take a long sustained heat to actually burn.
Oh, you mean my room?
Yes,
I
because
fucking
you
thought.
burned all
I
of it.
know. I know, but what I thought you meant was for Cassinia kept stealing shit from people's
Also
rooms.
that.
Well, I mean,
So
this is also an
Rosalind was-
opportunity to point Xenia towards a new stash, but
I'll say, Zena, if you do wish to take part of the stash of pillows, there is a great many as people had to travel a while, and pillows
Yes.
aren't always seen as a necessity to be taken along. Esther, if you want to just fully re-outfit your room, just go ahead and mark off a quick 100 gold, and I will leave whatever designs in that up to your writing and your choice.
He's really trying to
100
add.
gold, you said?
Yep, 100
100
gold.
gold.
Can I do a
Basically customized.
persuasion check? Can I do
Yeah.
persuasion check for bartering?
can
I
I
got it.
actually help with that?
Go for it.
Because I am fully
Advantage.
intending on buying some of that, but 100
And
gold is a
some
lot.
guidons.
And take a guidance from Zena.
Guidance?
Skidons, skidons.
Guidance.
20
Total of
gold.
20. Okay. You managed to pretty heavily barter them down. Mostly through the usage of, oh, I'm a matron and I'm just looking to re-out for my room. I have a young one and there was a bit of an event. In combination with Rosalind, just general persuasiveness and a distraction and a smile when needed. With Ashton kind of looming over her shoulder, being intimidated also when needed. And the divine intervention of a minor form.
There's just
from
like the
Zena.
light sparkles and like hopeful music.
John?
John, you're not muted.
John?
I do love your singing, but you're not muted.
Oh, sorry, I forgot I wasn't.
That's okay.
There's just the light sparkles and hopeful music when Rosalind and just the shopkeeper looks over there. There's just a of Ashton in the shadowy corner.
Basically. So you manage to negotiate it down to a good 75 gold piece instead.
Question for my other lovely players. Can I take some gold from party loot? I have none on my sheet.
Yes.
Go for it.
Oh,
Okay, I'm
okay.
taking some money.
It's okay. I'll take this out of my pocket. Don't worry about it, Rosalind.
Absolutely not.
Oh, you're finally asking for your paycheck?
Too late.
Oh man.
I already took it out of my personal funds. Fuck you.
I haven't had a paycheck in a fucking while.
I don't think anyone has.
Well, you had a paycheck, and then you split your soul in four, and it kind of messes with your benefits.
Shut up.
So you kind of have to wait
Oh
for like
my
the back
God.
pay to come back.
So I get to. So now I get to redesign my entire room.
Yes,
Alright,
that'll be for another
insurance.
session. Just keep it as a note and write it up for when I ask for it.
Okay, I
Um,
took some gold.
In the meantime, the D100s.
What's the going rate
Esther,
on
was there any
soul
particular
insurance?
area of the market you were looking at? Any things you were looking at? In particular?
Me? Honestly, no. Like she's been here before, in a sense. Like she kind of knows the general, but it changes every single year, so it's
Of
kind of
course.
hard. So she's just kind of looking around.
Okay. So as you happen across, by the way, I love making D100 tables for you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do at work. So as you go across and look through the market, you find a small kind of hunched over shopkeep, an older man it seems like, Air Genasi. And he kind of like waves you his way as you begin to approach.
Good morning.
He nods to you and he begins making these like symbols with his hands, which anyone who speaks Thieves' Cant can recognize it as essentially ASL through Thieves' Cant.
Wait,
Cute.
just wait 1 sec.
I was just double checking, not this character.
Okay, no, nope, wrong person.
But if no one speaks Thieves' Cant, he kind of smiles instead and he gestures towards his wares. That you see is a series of skirts, dresses, general clothing, robes for more masculine forms, that all have minor enchantments so that they flow in the wind perpetually.
That's
And he
so
also has
dramatic.
and he also has a small tie-dye station behind him, as well as some blank white robes that he can mess with. And he,
My
and
God.
he kind of pulls out like a wooden sign in like 6 different languages that explains this to you guys. And he just like gestures to each of you and just kind of looking to see if anyone's interested.
Oh, it's so many of them.
Esther looks very interested. Esther kind of looks to Rosalind and Xenia like,
Yes,
All right,
yes.
I need to ask, what's the price range on these? How expensive are they? Because
Most
you.
of them aren't more than 10 gold pieces.
Okay. All right.
The tie-dye one.
Rosalind.
Why
Give me a tie-dye
are you all looking at me?
Because you're the only one with any self-control when it comes to something like
Mom,
this.
I'm gonna say right now, Rosalind is right now eyeballing a cloak and then looking over at Ashton and eyeballing the cloak again.
Ashton, you can see this. Your passive insight is enough.
Yep.
It's like she's putting it on him in her head and thinking, yeah, that could work.
The shopkeep almost like very carefully grabs your hand, Ross, and like catches your attention and points at the cloak and points at Ashta with like a smile and like a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Perhaps?
And
Ashta?
he actually takes a cloak from beneath where there's a little stash of different sizes, and this one actually is shaped to go over top of armor to help keep the sun off it.
You've got to fucking hem it though.
Though I do know, just to Ashta, I do know you have your camouflage cloak, but perhaps for special occasions or for fun?
Theatrics.
Does it always have to flow?
The
Yes.
shopkeep shakes his head,
Oh,
and he kind of like folds it and like hands it to you, Ashta, to put on to try.
Kev looks at it and fine. Just like slides it over the armor.
Yep, you do so, and immediately it's activated. And it actually has a gentle breeze that comes with it that in the desert air is wonderful. Everyone watching, you suddenly see as Ashta has this billowing cloak that extends behind him when he puts it on, and his hair is blowing in the wind, and all the dust is just blown off his shoulders and his face.
The wolf whistle.
Esther bursts into laughter.
Oh, I like it.
Remember that one scene where they describe Kaladin as looking like a captain, even though he never means for it to?
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly that.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Fans
Ashta,
Lightwell.
Ashta Lightwell, please contain yourself. The women here.
There are a couple looks from people passing by in the crowd as the breeze kind of hits them too, and they look at Ashta. Anyone who looks hard enough, you can see a couple appreciative looks.
There's just a slow blink and goes and looks to Rosalind. How do I look?
Very heroic. She's just standing there with a smile on her face and her hand a little bit over her mouth. She seems happy with it.
There's a scrunch up at heroic, but it's like that is a good thing.
A very good thing on you.
And the shopkeep kind of reaches up and bending over and with like the full extent of his arm, he can only barely reach up to your lapel, Ashta, and he pulls a small drawstring on it, and suddenly the cloak begins to just like float down as a cloak normally would. The breeze on your face maintains, but it no longer billows in the wind. He pulls another drawstring and it shortens back to its kind of standard length. He kind of gestures towards it and looks to everyone else, like waiting for a response or a reaction.
Esther gives a thumbs up.
It's like a quiet
Thumbs
little
up.
clap.
Yes, and I'm
2
gonna go
thumbs
ahead
up.
and pay for however much that is. So,
Yep, just 10 gold.
okay.
Alright, I have a question.
Yes.
Is there one of them like the only way I can describe it is like Fenzies? I'm going to another game. Like Fenzies.
Absolutely. Absolutely
Like,
there
I
is.
can just wear out shirtless and just flowing out. Like-
There definitely is one, and there's one that has arms, like fitted arms, and one that has no sleeves and just goes over the shoulders.
Is there one I can tie dye?
Yes, there are.
Okay, because I want to get like one of them with the no arms, just
Okay.
for like suns out, guns out.
Yep.
And then another one for like colder weather, but I can still wear it out shirtless and just like whoosh.
There isn't really much one for colder weather, it's just one that has sleeves.
Not colder weather. I just mean half sleeves.
Okay. Yeah, and either that you want to tie-dye, just an extra 2 gold.
I'll get the suns out guns out one tie dyed, but I'll just write that down.
Okay, so a total of 22 gold in that case, as
you.
you get each of them. And if Xenia, you do put the one over your shoulders on. It immediately kind of like shapes itself to your neck and shoulders, as most magic items do. And it doesn't quite grip, actually. It just seems to like catch almost on your shoulders.
Good.
And there, you actually see like a little drawstring on the inside that basically lets you determine how much you would like to display your chest and torso.
Oh, I'm getting the tattoos showing, man.
Yeah, and it flows and it shows. It looks wonderful.
Appreciate it.
All right. Is anyone else looking to get one?
Are there
Alright.
any like jewelry stands nearby? Actually,
Oh, there is so many. Most of them are basically in charge by Earth Jossie. And go ahead and give me a. Actually, there's a few Dragonborn as well. Go ahead and give me a D100 for which one you get to.
more D100s.
29. Okay, you actually go to one that is headed by a gold Dragonborn. And he looks to you and first goes to speak in Draconic to you, which you do understand now, actually.
A thorough apply in Draconic.
And he smiles and like claps his hand as soon as you walk over, and he displays like his beautiful wares. It seems a lot of these are raw gems that have been wire wrapped and then further implemented into like long chains and like almost spider webs of wire wraps hooked together that you can kind of shape and reattach and detach at your own desire. It's a distinctly Dragonborn thing that, because Dragonborn aren't super common.
No, dude, that's
In the
exactly what I
culture?
was thinking.
Oh, I know. It's a distinctly Dragonborn thing that, because Dragonborn aren't super common in this country, you don't see very often, but anyone who has the kind of history proficiency would know this as a Dragonborn style of jewelry.
Can I say that would be very much Rosalind's proficiency because just
Oh, yeah,
noble
definitely.
background.
Yeah, anyone with history proficiency, you know this on your own, without rolling.
I don't have
cool.
history proficiency, but I feel like she'd have jewelry proficiency.
I have proficiency.
That's fair. Alright, so yeah, there is a beautiful one that he first like kind of pulls you over to, Esther, and he smiles and says, I don't know if this is offensive, but your solar, they are wonderful, and I have a design that would actually complement it nicely if you would let me.
Sure. I
And
don't
he
mind.
smiles. He takes one, and it's a gold and orange with like full of topaz and amber. What's the one thing? Is it amber? Yeah, topaz and amber. Wire wrapped in these gold and what seems maybe be bronze filigree that is made to wrap up the shoulders and just hook on the very base of the chin. And a pair of earrings that are meant to go through the ears that hold on to the top pieces of it, so it looks almost like a shoulder piece. And he has a second one that is like almost like a sleeve of tattoos of just this intricate design work, almost like mandalas. Once more filled with topaz and rubies, actually. That goes up either arm as high as you need to, as you can kind of like roll it and hook it as you would like to. And you could actually hook them both together, too.
How much are these? They're beautiful.
Oh, you'll have to understand, it is raw gems, so they are expensive, but for the two arms and the shoulder piece, I would charge you 150 gold pieces. But I hear there are wonderful receptacles for enchanting of any kind that you would like to use. The gems, especially if you have fire enchantments or fire magic to you, which many of fire mostly do. It's a good receptacle to hold on to an enchantment that would strengthen that.
So for both the shoulder and the arm pieces, it's 150?
Yes, as well as the earrings that hook on.
Sold.
And he smiles and hands it to you, and he gives you a small, basically cloth to drape over your shoulders so that in the desert heat the metal doesn't heat up and burn your skin. That you can put underneath if you'd like.
Sweetheart.
And he just smiles and says, "Can I interest you in anything else? Rings, jewelry, your friends perhaps? They seem to be finished tie-dyeing over there."
So I'll call the rest of the group over to see if they'd like to take a look.
Sure.
Oh, jewelry.
And he sees you, Xenia, and immediately starts to speak Dragonborn to you. Sorry, Draconic to you.
Yeah, changes to. Let's change just celestial. Gymnast dragonic.
He kind of catches himself and just switches to comment for a second and says, sorry, your friend was fluent, I assumed.
With the hand.
Primordial, perhaps?
Yeah, you'll respond in primordial.
There we go. He switches to primordial, which is notably smoother. And says, my apologies for the mix-up, and he kind of hopes that the rest of you can understand too, which most I think at this point speak primordial.
Yeah,
And he
all of us do.
Yep, and he kind of, as you kind of gather around, he has this like big happy grin on his face, which for a Dragonborn is kind of terrifying because it means he's displaying these just like rows of teeth that are razor sharp, many of which actually have jewelry, kind of pierced into them in like the center of like the major teeth.
You would probably like just mumble in celestial, just like near Ash, just like that's a lot of fucking teeth, bro.
But he smiles and he immediately turns to you, Xenia, and shows you this kind of hand wrap. That is basically, it ends at the wrist. It's a very small piece, but at the palm and at the back of the hand has a raw emerald sitting in it that, if you kind of pull it the right way, will press out of the skin, and the one in your palm sits very comfortably as like a rounded bottom edge.
Silver or gold? Is the metal silver or gold? Or what's the...
This one is mostly copper.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, and he says, see, us Dragonborn, we don't have a tradition of copper remaining rust-free. So as you wear this and as it is shown love, it will slowly begin to match the green of the emerald.
I sort of like look at the emerald and just sort of look at the party, and they're just gonna just like, how much is it?
This one is 45 gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say probably you can take stuff out of party loot because we've just been dumping everything into that.
The amount of gold I took from you guys.
Yeah, but you guys have so much money.
I was gonna say, if you don't, Esther will buy it for you out of her personal pocket. Like, I have never taken from party loot.
I took 2,000 gold.
That's how much I had.
That's okay. Not that much.
I'll be honest, in my own personal funds that I've never taken from party loot, Esther had about 2,400. Esther will pay out of her own pocket for this for Xenia.
I already paid for it, and I can't do math.
2,000 like, minus 45?
No, so it's 100 platinum, and it was the number I did for the cloak, so I did my own math. I'm fine, I got it now. Okay. And I'm not marking that one.
Okay, cool. So you have that, and he kind of looks to Rosalind and just goes, do you wear things in your hair normally? Would you be interested in a headpiece?
Possibly. What do you have?
And he shows you actually a couple. These ones actually mostly are with either rubies or with cat's eye, with these like swirling patterns on the inside. And he has one that basically like goes over the hair with a small piece in the where the crown would be to let your hair come out. That is just this. It's basically a crown laid flat on your head, and it is meant to kind of frame the face, and where it would kind of reach the ears, it drapes down a little bit, almost like bangs on the side of your head would. And he has a second piece that is almost a veil, but instead of actually veiling any part of your chin or mouth, it is just a very densely wrapped set of cat's eye and silver that is basically meant as a decoration for your chin, nose, and mouth, with a kind of nose piercing to hold onto it from the front and the two ear piercings.
Nope, no nose piercings at all. That's not going to happen. Sure. And okay. The flat one doesn't really sound like a Rosalind thing. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's okay. He kind of smiles and says, "That's okay. It is not for everyone." And he kind of gestures to everyone else. Anyone else interested? I have a good number of pieces. Any specific gems you would all like? As I said, many gems are good for enchanting later on.
Do you happen to have anything with amethyst?
Amethyst? Yes, I have a few actually. You don't find many of them in the deserts, but I have a. And he pulls out this. It's not quite a chest piece, but it kind of drapes down from both shoulders and down the center of your torso. And it is this cobalt blue metal that you don't recognize on immediate sight, wrapped with these deep purple amethysts. And around the kind of like sternum, it's this big mandala that radiates out, and as it goes down further through the center of the chest, down to the belly button, it descends into this like almost spike pattern that drapes down and is decorative, of course, but most of the gems sit at the bottom of these individual spikes.
You said it goes over the shoulders, yeah?
It hooks onto like the front of the shoulders, kind of, with like a small necklace to kind of keep it attached. So it's got like a small neck piece, and then it's just for the front of the body.
Interesting.
Basically, everything that's displayed by Xenia's open cloak would be covered by this.
And how much is this, sorry?
This is a larger piece, so this one is 100 on its own.
It's truly beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Do you
I've been doing this most of my life.
do you have anything smaller, perhaps? Something that would go around the wrist, maybe?
Around the wrist, yes. For your size or for someone else?
Or somebody else?
Someone else? Larger or smaller than yours?
Larger?
Larger? Here we go. And he pulls out still amethyst, yes?
Yes, please.
And he kind of looks through. He says, I have a pair here, actually. They're meant to go together. And he pulls out one of this silver metal with an amethyst sitting at the top of the wrist, at the back, and another one that is basically a purple dyed iron. Basically been, I can't think of the word for it, but you can basically apply a chemical to iron that changes the color of it. And this one's a purple-ish hue, with a diamond sitting on the back of it that says, one for clarity of heart and one for clarity of mind.
How much are those?
The pair would be 30 gold pieces.
I'll take them.
Right, and he hands you both of them. Well, I won't keep you folks for too long, but please do come back. I make some more every day. And if any of you would like to try making your own, tonight I do small seminars. You are welcome to return.
I love this man!
I'm just gonna fall back a little bit and wait there, just until like everyone's out of earshot.
Ty, I'll leave that question up to you.
Okay. I was just thinking the cool daggers.
Up to you.
Like just really intricate daggers. That's what I was just thinking, and I just wanted to see if you'd like it, because usually woods type,
Yeah.
at least historically.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Yeah, Xenia's just gonna like sort of go to them and just like, are there any like ceremonial sort of daggers there?
Just in the general market.
This guy, because he has he has at least the jewel inlays and all that stuff. If there's like a hilt or something that would hold a blade.
He has
That
a couple
could be,
of
like-
small pieces that are meant to sit like kind of on the hilt or on the edge of the scabbard, but nothing weaponry related.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. And next up we have Fergus. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fitting. Fergus,
Oh no.
you actually find an apothecary's shop
Perfect.
specializing in basically drinks with minor enchantments. Not necessarily alcoholic, but just of desert fruit, desert purpose. Many that are made to cool the body, many that are meant to help with sunburn, with swelling, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is manned by it's actually manned by a water genasi. As she's kind of looking around and she waves at you. Not specifically Sky, no.
Yeah.
She kind of waves to you, Fergus, and kind of pushes what seems to be the top piece of a cactus, hollowed out, filled with this like orange juice, almost with a small umbrella and straw sticking out, and with what looks to be a desert pomegranate sitting kind of on the edge of it, its seeds facing upwards, and kind of slowly absorbing the liquid of the juice. It is the quenchiest, thank you.
Of course.
And she kind of looks to you and says, "Passing drink. Only a cup of silver."
And he'll put one down.
Yep. She smiles to you and pushes it towards you. As you drink from it, it is this. It's chilled, seemingly, either by magic or by some sort of
Chemical reaction.
yeah, something of the sort. And as you drink it down, you actually get a couple of the seeds in your mouth, and when you bite down on it, the juice just explodes out. And as you would know, desert pomegranate, their seeds store most of their water, and the shell is just there to protect the seeds from the sun. So they are naturally very absorbent. That's the word. And these just like bursts of powerful flavor, seemingly the extract almost of the juice, explodes in your mouth, and it is fantastic. Anyone else who walks by, just a silver piece for one. She hands it to you each and says, anything fancier you folks are looking for? Those who aren't from the desert, maybe? She gestures towards Ashtaraz and Xenia. Drinks that are meant to fight back against the warmth of the desert.
Something perhaps a little more technically complex.
Oh, I have a few, yes. You are a miner, I assume, right?
Yes, he is.
Yes. He is.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
He's a minor.
Wait,
Please.
She smiles and just says, then you'll have to forgive me if I don't pull out the cocktails. But what I do have here for you, and she pulls out this smoothie, question mark, that you can see the individual layers of the juices that have been kind of mashed and pulped. And she shows you basically what she has them in separate containers, and that she can kind of do latte designs with the fruit juice using the different colors. And says,
Yeah.
I do portraits, I do animals, and I can have any of this enchanted with a spice that would keep you safe from sunburn.
Purvis is very impressed, and he's going to spend the next few minutes talking shop with this lady.
Yeah, and she seems actually very happy at someone actually interested in talking about it. And anyone who requests a drink, she makes it for you, and the art is beautiful. At the end of the conversation, Purvis, she slides you a small drink that seems she's drawn a small desert cat in it out of the juice, and just says, "Just tell people where you got it from. No charge."
Of course. Thank you.
She smiles to you, and the way she actually talks about the fruit juices, there is actually a lot of chemistry to it, with which juices will mess with each other, especially with the different desert fruits that so much of what they do is absorb liquid naturally. You have to be careful how you mix them. It's
Yeah,
actually
he's,
very
yeah.
interesting.
Are there any fruits to be bought, or is it just the drinks of her?
She has a few fresh fruit. Most of them are for display, but things like the pomegranate, she specializes kind of like boba, where she can put it in whatever drink you want, and it just basically turns into little edible sips.
Pearls? Okay. Ian's just sort of like asking how each of the fruits sort of keep, just trying to learn about each of them, just to see how they would store them and how they would cook with them.
Okay. I'll say next time you make a meal in the desert, you have advantage.
Oh, okay.
So some of the fruits are for sale or no?
Some of them are for sale, yes. Not a ton of them. She doesn't have like
Okay.
a huge stock. Most
No.
of them are full
Mhm.
of juice.
Um,
But desert pomegranate is the main one she's selling.
I might buy a pomegranate just for later snack, because if it stores that much water, that's probably going to be good later on. Just
And she offers you just like basically a glass of chilled water to let it sit in to absorb it if you'd like.
okay. So Rosalind will have
Alright.
that and for later.
All right. And as you guys move on, Xenia. Let's see, 23.
I'm also looking for something specific afterwards as well.
Oh, if you want to mention it, it can be the flavor because I have multiple tables.
I'm looking for épicé, some spices.
Some spice. I do have an
Spice.
entire culinary table.
Oh my god.
Big.
I want to be here forever.
This is what happens when Sky gives me 26 pages of culture. Okay.
Hey, yes I did!
Spicky.
All right. So 23 on the culinary table.
Also, I'm very happy that we are finally like having a little bit of a shopping trip where it's not just like supplies, but it's just like aesthetic stuff to show up to a battlefield and be like, go fuck yourself, son.
What are you wearing? That's my ass kicking outfit, bitch.
Whee!
Alright.
You don't think Esther's gonna enchant all this fucking jewelry and show up to a Zodiac fight
Here we go.
decked out like a motherfucker? You're so wrong.
I love
Let me
it.
enchant my breastplate to be invisible so I'm shirtless.
I love it.
Please! Can we please?
That's probably
Xenia
a thing somewhere.
requests.
Give me a
Alright,
minute, I'm putting
so-
it inside of to remember.
I'll shift you to a 22 actually, because that fits a bit better, Xenia. So you find a small, actually not a small at all. It's a rather large stall, manned by a number of genasi of all varieties, as well as one tiefling, and they're all working into these large kind of David's tea style containers. And as you kind of approach, looking in, a couple of them are clear glass and seem to have spices. And as you walk over, you can hear them trying to sell things such as the teas that they have, almost like powdered milk that you add to a any kind of water or juice or milk that is like an instant tea. They also have spices that are meant to be added onto drinks, things like nutmeg, cinnamon, turmeric.
Give me a number about how much stuff they have.
It is one of the biggest stalls that you've seen so far.
Give me a number.
If
Like
you
how
want-
many different varieties? Like upwards of like 70.
How much?
How much for what?
Some of everything.
Some of everything would be a total of 400 gold pieces.
Have it.
One of column A, B, C, D through Z.
It's just
Yeah.
gonna be
And they're,
like
David's tea style like size containers. Like it's a lot.
yeah.
Jesus
Zeus,
Christ,
like-
I love this.
He's like gonna like Zeus gonna like go Esther. I need to ask you something.
Find out
Are
about
these
Yes?
the
all-
packs.
Is it like all commission, or like if I just go to one person, will they get like a little bit more of a cut if it's a big sale, or is it
What
like
do you mean?
everyone at the stall gets a little bit more? I'm about to spend a lot of money, and I want to know.
Okay.
It's like there's that very very nice. I see that Genasi, that Earth Genasi is really like trying to sell her stuff. She's really going at it, but the Tiefling like hasn't been that busy, and I may want to perk up his day. I'm not sure.
The
Like, do they-
way
This is
things
full
usually
color
work,
etiquette. Love it.
the way things usually work with communal stalls is that everybody gets equal share.
Okay, so okay.
How
You-
much? Wait, Xenia, before you go choosing spices, do you at least want my input on some of these?
Just gonna get one of everything, to be honest with you, and just try what I can do.
I need to get you the recipes from the elders then.
Oh, Esther.
Xenia, I'm a matron. Part of my job was to cook.
Just
Yes.
grabbing Esther by the shoulders and doing that half laugh cry. I'm just the you don't know what you just opened up, Esther. And just like cupping her face. I love you.
Especially, I've
I
never
love
heard
you
of
too.
two Xenia more in my life than right now. This
What?
is exactly how I get about spices.
He's gonna be like,
Esther
wait,
will
wait,
just-
Esther. I need your professional opinion on something though.
And that would be?
I'm about to spend about 400 gold, and I need someone with a bag of holding. Should I get Ashta or Rosalind, or should I drag Fervis over here?
Fervis.
Because I don't want to get just a Fane nearby. Fervis!
Just immediately, Fervis won't snitch.
What is
He
it? What
won't.
do you need? What do you need?
First, I need you to do something you can't snitch.
I
Get over to the spice rack.
He runs over to the spice rack, I guess.
I
I'm
need
gonna wave as you two come up.
I need to use your bag of holding.
He'll open up his bag of holding.
He's gonna like hail down the tiefling, just like, hey, dude, hi, friend, and just talking primordial.
Yep, he goes, hey, hello. Yes, spices? Tea?
Like some of everything.
Everything?
Everything.
He grabs you by the face, kisses you on the forehead, and goes to grab like a little bag of everything.
It's counting out some
Thank you.
platinum.
I think you just made his week.
I think I just made my own lifetime.
So you see
Yeah.
as he basically takes within one hand 10 little pouches at a time, and just like fill one pouch, flip it over, fill the other side of that finger, and just does that for every single one down the line, and start placing it in front of you 10 at a time.
He keeps doing that. Xenia's gonna be slightly rational. Is there enough cabinet space for this?
Yeah, it's small
We
pouches.
live in a giant castle!
I'm
They have giant cabinets!
I was really
Also,
just one
You could get a
Just pull
spice rack of
new
holding if you really want to.
spice rack of
Does
She
holding.
get a spice rack of holding.
Yes. Do they have spice racks of holding?
And not specifically at this shop, no.
That's the mission for this episode.
I
Also,
need that.
Ashton will get mad and Rosalind will snitch. No offense to Rosalind, but she will.
Snitch to Ashton and he'll get mad at me, and my room's next door to Rosalind, but we all know how that turned out. Also, because I never was able to do it prior to any of this campaign, so Zine's gonna start looking for their own bag of holding.
Give me an investigation check.
God damn, I always fail this one. I'm guidance.
Can I give advantage? Because I would like one too.
If
Like-
that's the case, you're welcome.
I want to carry stuff without people snitching.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Great.
Zine and I are the only ones without bag of holdings. I would really appreciate one.
The only reason Zine doesn't have money on their sheet is because I will spend it impulsively.
It's almost like you should have a bag of holding.
No, shut up.
So let me see those investigation checks, one each.
Oh, okay.
Zine advantage guidance.
Something's wrong. I can feel it.
I'm mad.
DC was 10, dude. These are easy to find.
I always failed the DC in the other campaign.
How
Well, you gotta-
much?
So, you guys find a stall that's got a number of different designs, and Esther, you actually find one that's at a bit of a better price. Most of these are satchel style, as opposed to backpacks, like I believe Ashta has.
Yes.
And a lot of them have Solar kind of based designs that look like Solar.
Hmm.
Esther, you're brought to one that actually has a vine-like Solar done in this deep gold on a kind of tan desert background. That one is a simple 500 gold pieces, but it's a full functional bag of holding.
And
Um,
is there any without like the fancy stuff? Maybe that's a bit cheaper.
They're all the same price. It's just different designs.
Oh, okay, cool. Esther's
But that's-
gonna buy a bag of holding.
Gymnastic. It's pretty good.
It is.
It doesn't work phonetically, but it works alphabetically, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
None of the names make sense in common or primordial.
Is there
there we
also a spice
Esther?
rack of holding there?
Say again, sir?
Is there also a spice rack of holding?
Esther finds spice rack of holding, yes. That and probably shows it to you. But Esther, there's another one for you as well. A bag of holding that has. You can put in requests because there's a lot of options, but the one I immediately think of is one that has a kind of like a deep, rich chocolate brown with a gold trim.
She'll go with
but-
that one.
Okay, so 500 gold for that. The spice rack of holding is 75 gold pieces. Anything that could be vaguely considered a spice or a flavoring of some kind will fit in this, such as it were a bag of holding. As long as it has been within that category, it is effectively infinite, as long as none of the containers are larger than 12 inches on any dimension.
Xenia's gonna like get a little loop and like stick the spice rack of holding on like their belt right now, just because putting it in a bag of holding would make the world explode.
Correct.
I know my lore. I know my D&D.
If it helps at all, this one is basically shaped like a wallet. That's why I can't take anything larger than 12 inches.
Might I add, Esther is now sitting in the middle of the shop, putting all of the shit from her backpack into this bag of holding, and
Takes forever.
just watching as people are like, "What the fuck? Why does she have three? Why is there writing paper? Why are there goggles? Who gave her acid capsules?" Like,
I'm buying the bag of holding and the spice rack of holding.
Alright.
565 gold.
Alright. So, and last up is Rosalind. Rosalind, actually, this is very fitting as to what you're doing. You find a small herb-focused, but a garden center, effectively,
Okay.
where it's a number of plants that will survive both inside and outside of the desert, but are from the desert. So, we'll say this is where you got the thing from earlier, as well as whatever else you'd like to look for. There's a number of things. Some of those small fruits that you saw earlier at the juice area. There's trimmings. None of these grow in large trees. It's usually things like bushes or roots of some kind that just absorb a lot of water. Flowers that eventually fruit, or fruits that eventually flower. I can't remember which direction it goes. But there is a wonderful selection to choose from, and most of them are in the, as opposed to the kind of greens and reds that you would see in the more middle area of the country. Most desert plants are of the blue-purple kind of cool color ranges, because that's an actual thing with beta chlorophyll.
Okay. She might get herself her room just a small planter with a variety and ask how to take care of it and learn all of that. And
The healthier of the plants almost seem to reach out for your touch as you look through this area, and the unhealthy ones, whenever you happen to kind of look at them closely, almost seem to flower a bit more brightly.
all right, she's gonna go and find one that's struggling.
You find a, actually give me a d6.
Okay.
I'm assuming Ash is with Rosalind on this one since he's
I imagine so.
not witnessing the spice crimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crimes
crimes
against spice manity.
2. Okay, you actually find it's called a cactus fruit, but it looks like little persimmons that grow on a cactus that has no needles, but instead has like these hard edges to their shape. You find one where it's got one fruit, and it seems to be putting all of its effort, kind of like that one apple, that the bonsai apple tree with one huge apple, kind of like that, but less of a healthy look to it. It seems like it hasn't grown as it should have. It was either not in a ideal place or something along the lines.
All right. I was kind of also I was looking more for one that's in a planter with other plants, so it's like a small variety in a mini garden, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, you probably could find. What the fuck? Sorry, someone is using a bandsaw at 9 o'clock at night outside my window.
Fuck.
I don't know. Fuck? Whatever,
Alright.
I'll talk later. Yeah, you can find what's effective, like you said, a planter. It's not made of particularly heavy material. It seems to be this just like wood pulp that you have to be kind of careful with. It's strong enough that your finger's not going to push through it or anything, as long as you're not tightening super hard on it. But it seems like it's almost made to be carried on the outside of a backpack as needed, as it's got little hooks that you can attach. And you can pick one that has a kind of less healthy variety of plants to it, if you'd like, but the same variety of just of less healthiness.
Okay. It's gonna be a little project that she takes care of back up on the castle. So it might end up in a different planter because she's not after something portable. She's after something that's gonna sit in the room.
Yep, of course. They explain the planters are kind of made for people to kind of take it with them and take it home with them after the gathering is done. They do warn you that like these ones aren't particularly healthy. We can give you a healthier group if you'd like.
No, I want to see what I can do with these.
Oh, sure. I'll at least give you a discount then, okay?
Alright, I would accept that.
They smile, and it's just with the discount, it's just 4 gold pieces.
Jeez, these are steep. It's like
It's
$40.
It's festival prices.
As they're walking around, Ash is just gonna ask Rayla if she sees any flowers she would want.
She whispers in your ear, basically, it's like, so I assume everything isn't an appropriate answer.
1, maybe 2.
Okay. And just look for the one that's kind of shaking to a rhythm, okay?
What now?
I'm gonna be invisible. Just look for the one
Okay.
that's kind of dancing on its stem.
Sure.
And after about a minute or two, you see a small, like purple and white spotted, almost like a lily. That's bouncing up and down with a rhythm that Rayla often kind of taps on the inside of your armor.
I'll walk over to that one, pick it up. What does he know about it? Just from a glance.
Go ahead and roll me a nature check.
7.
The label, it doesn't really explain much. It just says the name of the flower, which is just the spotted coat. It explains that it's an oasis flower, basically, that it grows near water and is usually a sign of healthy water, as opposed to groundwater that's got some kind of harsh chemical to it, as they can't survive in a lot of harsh environments. But anywhere you see it, you know it is a good and safe place to drink, as well as the fact that it's not a mirage, because it seems that these flowers are kind of resistant to illusion effects, as in you can't illusion this flower.
Huh. The guy looks at it and goes, how come this one?
They smile and say, just one, or would you like a packet of seeds, or...
He kind of waits for a fairy to whisper in his ear.
She whispers and just says, seeds, I can make them bloom myself.
Maybe a few seeds.
Sure. And they hand you a small packet. It's like a gold. And they warn you that if you're going to plant these, it has to have water changed every day. Okay? It has to be very, very clean water.
Alright.
Don't pack it too tightly in the dirt, though. You can see them. Rosalind, you notice they're giving him very much the amateur who's got a way too difficult flower and doing their best to try and hope it keeps alive.
Mm-hmm.
She's not going to interrupt, but she will listen in just so she knows the instructions as well.
Yep. It's relatively high maintenance flower, but it's not difficult. It's just every morning, as long as someone clears out the water, and you don't have fresh dirt. It's effectively best by flowing water, or large pools of water if you're going to plant it naturally as opposed to a knuckle planter. But with that, as you kind of looking through, as you go to leave the garden center, you bump into your dad, who has quite a number of very vibrant flowers braided into his hair, as well as his beard. And it seemingly has this big dopey grin in his face as he's being walked around by someone you don't actually recognize. It seems to be a relatively similar age man. Genasi. I believe it's a water Genasi. And they kind of look at you and smile and immediately gives you a hug. Your dad, that is.
Mm-hmm.
And no, because Vlad's in the Oasis, remember?
Ashley's giving a scan to this other person.
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
28.
28. Kind of looking him up and down, you notice he's got very much the regal bearing, similar to the Duke, but he actually has a lot of clothes and decorative pieces, some of which you haven't really learned the symbology of, that Esther would generally carry. Just a little bit different.
On that, he's just gonna give a quick feint over to Esther, just an image like, hey, who's this guy?
It is no one you recognize, Esther, but he has a symbol of a high healer on his shoulder.
I don't recognize him, but he's a high healer of some. Don't know which tribe though.
What does that mean exactly?
He's one of the High Council members of a tribe. I don't know which.
So he's to be respected?
Yes, very much so.
Alright.
He holds the same amount of respect here like the Duke does in your culture.
Oh, makes sense when he's with him. And then just a faint hang up almost.
And
Goes
actually,
back.
back. Take a quick 5 minutes, everyone.
Okay.
Fair thing.
Ooh, time for some watermelon, boys.
What the fuck?
What?
Time for watermelon. He said 5 minutes. I want a snack.
Okay.
Oh.
We really went right back into these characters and went, oh, let's shop.
I mean,
It's finally shopping time. Fuck off.
I spent 1,000 gold in 15 minutes.
yeah.
I'm not to be. This is why I don't keep money on this sheet. I know it will be gone in like 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, Esther has never taken from party loot before.
Mhm.
It is something I have not done yet. I might have to soon.
I haven't taken from party loot.
I
But
haven't
I
taken
want-
party
I
loot
should
either
really
with
get
Caius
some
or with Fervis. I don't think.
I should really get some money on this sheet because I don't like asking other people for money. Also, I want my own bag of holding because I've wanted one since like a quarter through this campaign.
I finally got one, and I'm so fucking happy that I don't have to go digging through other people's bags of holding
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't have to.
I want to be able to carry my 430 pounds of earth crystals.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
I have
How
430 pounds
you're
of
not
earth
like
crystals.
Skyrim style walking around like you have elephantitis is
I have, dude, I have 20 pounds of glow shrooms.
Jesus Christ!
I've
See,
got the
I
feeling. I've got the feeling those are not being carried by Esther.
No,
They're just piled
no.
up in a corner in the castle.
hope not.
I just wanted a bag of
Otherwise-
holding because I've had an inventory sheet for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to use it. Also, I don't want to mug Ashta anymore because I feel like he'd just keep killing me. Am I wrong? You're gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong?
God. Oh,
Really?
I love that.
For Ashton, this
Yes,
is
I
an
would.
improvement.
For us, yeah, and for us going to Fervis saying we need your bag of holding, don't snitch.
Yeah, like it's the thing, right? Of maybe I should like Asher should lean back, and then it goes, hey, don't snitch in the background, like they know they're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because we know we're doing something wrong. We're spending 400 gold
No.
pieces on spices.
Isn't something wrong?
And then
Yeah.
you're sitting here like Ash is so uptight. Oh my gosh.
To be
Well,
fair,
it's like,
you've never proven anything on the contrary.
and you
Yeah.
said
Also, that's why we have to sneak.
You become the strict parent, Devin. I hate to inform you.
Yeah, that's why we have to sneak, because we know you're uptight.
you're gonna find out about Xenia's 400 gold worth of spice, which is $4,000.
Eventually, but not today.
Probably today when Xenia cooks dinner.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Sorry about that. I went to go figure out what the bandsaw was about. Because it was getting louder.
Oh no, Xenia, you won't be cooking dinner tonight.
Pissed.
You'll see.
So, as you get hugged by the Duke, immediately after he lets go, the Water Genasi goes to give you a hug as well, Rosalind, and introduces himself rather simply. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but he's not an important NPC. He kind of gives you a hug and says something to the Duke in Primordial, which basically translates to, I'll leave you to your... and he kind of looks between family, I think. And nods and gives you a nod, Ashta, and basically a handshake as he kind of notices your more standoffish posture.
Hmm.
And
And he'll
he-
return it well enough.
Yep, and he gives you like a nice smile. Like he seems very professionally kind,
Mhm.
In a very person trying to be president kind of way.
Yeah.
And he makes his way out as the Duke kind of looks and says, "You know, I should have expected you to be in here, Rosalind. Are you enjoying the festivities? I didn't find you at all last night."
Oh, we actually have a particular place we're staying. If you'd like to come, you can see where it is. It's a small
please.
oasis out that way, and she'll point and give directions.
And he smiles and says, "Oh, that would be wonderful. Do you mind if I go there and wait for you and just kind of meet the folks who are there without you?"
Of course, we'll meet you there later on. I think
Take
we'll
your
need
time.
a little bit finished up. Yes.
Right. Please. Yes, around, I think,
Perhaps
3
in
hours
time for
to do it.
lunch?
3 hours past noon, I plan to go back out, so if you come there for lunch, we can eat lunch and head out there afterwards.
All right, that sounds lovely.
And he kind of gives you a kiss on the cheek, and he looks to you, Ashton, with a big smile still. Every time he's seen you since you confessed to Rosalind, he's had this just dopey grin on his face.
And he just gives a nod.
And he smiles, says, "Oh, lighten up," and he kind of pats you on the shoulders and just takes a hand off like hot metal. Look, enjoy yourself, son. I know you're very uptight, and I'm sure this many people makes you anxious. But please, treat her well, show her a good time, and don't forget there's not many places safer than here. At this
Mhm.
point, there is, and he kind of looks around and says, "I want to say," he counts off, 35 warriors of the 60 people here enjoying the flowers, and that ratio holds true for many places around here. Please, take your time, chance to relax.
I would love if you proved me wrong.
Do your best. I'm sure Rosalind will coax it out of you if she needs to. Pats you on the cheek and makes his way out towards the Oasis.
As he walks away and turns the corner, Asher just like and like grabs his chest.
Rayla just smiles and twirls the little seed packet inside of your pocket.
The fuck?
You really don't need to be nervous around him anymore, you know.
He called me son. I'm good. I'm good. Let's keep going.
Are you sure?
hmm
We can take a moment if you need it.
I am not thinking about it right now.
Alright. Then let's go find something else to think about.
That sounds wonderful.
Where are the others? I haven't seen them in a little while.
Something's wrong, I can feel it.
No,
Something-
Ashton.
Oh, I can feel
Just
it.
because somebody's out of your sight for 5 minutes doesn't mean anything's wrong. Besides, we have Fane.
The spice shack in the corner is just shaking.
Just a little ping outwards, just a call and response. Everybody alright? Everybody here? We're here.
We're
No one
dead.
can.
There's a ping. What are you up to?
No one should trust me with money. No one should trust me with money.
Does Ashley hear that?
Hold on. Before you answer that question, Ty, I need to ask you,
I need to buy my pillows.
how much money did you spend on pillows? This is exactly what I was going to ask you.
No! Esther would have stepped in and made sure it was not unreasonable.
200 gold.
Where up?
Okay, work it out.
Is that unreasonable?
On
Probably.
pillows! How much gold per pillow?
What?
It's like a gold per pillow, dude.
It's what?
Like-
Gold per pillow?
Like a singular gold per pillow.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, but that's like
That's
Two-
200 pillows!
that's like $100.
Yeah, that's like paying $100 for a single pillow.
No,
Yeah.
1 gold per
It's
pillow.
$10.
No.
$10.
$10, okay.
Mm. It still
Mm.
feels really off.
Yeah, and I'm gonna spend $2,000 on some.
It's $10
Why?
per
Oh
pillow.
my god.
Is that expensive?
Yeah, that's expensive.
That's
No,
expensive.
$10 per pillow is real cheap.
No, I
No,
mean
a
$2,000.
Gold.
Oh. 2,000 gold on pillows.
No, 200 gold.
Yeah, 200 pillows. You have a bag of holding. Like, it's not like a,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Yes,
wise.
that's
That makes
also,
sense.
Exactly.
That's also still
The
excessive.
pillow fort is made out of like 150 pillows. Currently.
Yeah, I want to double.
Yes, and they were all reasonably acquired without a gold cost.
That's not true necessarily.
No,
No, they were not.
Not off our party route.
Oh my
Did you buy pillows with the party loot?
I don't want to talk about it. Not that many though.
Oh my god!
It was like 100. It was like I franked out like 10 platinum.
I asked the question to Xenia and Xenia alone. How
Yeah.
many pillows are you buying? How much money you spending?
Everyone's gonna get mad at me.
No,
That
go
is their
ahead.
problem, not yours.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Please buy
I'm
as
not-
many as you would like.
I'm not
support
complaining.
the
I'm
action.
not complaining about how much you're spending. I'm complaining about this concept of how much a gold actually is in this world because it feels
Yeah.
wrong.
See, Xenia's the
It's costing
person.
10 gold pieces, but you're having a number of different people here, some who are charging you guys marketplace prices, because you are all covered in very expensive magic items and jewelry.
Shirtless.
Yeah, that's why Xenia's getting a good price.
Yeah.
Esther's only in her matron outfit. All jewelry
Sometimes-
went in the bag.
You just have to look like Vlad and you get good prices. 200 gold, kind sir.
Okay, you get 200 pillows.
Thank you.
I also love how Vlad has just not left the Oasis.
No, he's chilling. This is exactly what he wants. He's hanging out with his family and has an entire ass Oasis to himself with no responsibilities. What else could you ask for?
He's having a great time,
How big
honestly.
are each of the pillows? How big's each of the pillows?
Normal pillow sized. But they're not like
Like-
throw pillows, they're like bed pillows.
Thank God, okay. Anyways, Xenia said they can't trust. They can't be trusted with money.
That's
Also-
Sorry,
oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. It just fucking got me. How big are these pillows? You know, pillow sized.
Pillows, man.
I also just realized, Conrad,
Yes.
we we redid Esther's room, but she didn't have anywhere to put the shit before buying a bag of holding.
It's all in
Fucking-
Rosalind's.
Yeah.
Okay.
The bag of holding is present at that time.
Yeah.
I know, but it would have been really funny.
So even worse than you feigning to no one should trust me with money. I now see why I've never got money from you guys, and it's really showing.
Should we stop shopping and go have some lunch or find some entertainment before lunch?
Probably.
I feel like someone just blindfold me
Wait.
throughout this place.
If you want lunch, I know a good place.
Sure, I just spent
do-
all of that money on spices I want to cook.
There's a feign back to Esther. I did ask my father to join us for lunch at the Oasis. Would there be something we'd be able to take with us?
Oh, it's all takeout.
All right.
I would like to cook.
When it comes to any other meal that isn't dinner, or supper, whichever you'd like to call it, everything is usually things that are portable. They're shared in small groups, in tents, usually around this time towards noon because it is the hottest hours. So it would probably be best actually if we head back now. But let me show you this place. Conrad,
Yes.
what's the thingy that they cut the meat off the sticks?
Shawarma?
No, it's not shawarma. It's,
Or, no,
not
it's
kaiser.
like
Um,
falafel, isn't it?
no,
Waffles are
falafels.
vegetarian.
Round things.
Swear to God, I gotta figure out because I
Oh my god, I know this word.
I
Hold
do
on.
know. I
Give
know
me a
what you're
minute.
talking about.
Like,
no.
It's. I know it's Greek.
It is. No, I'm looking
You
for. I'm looking at meat stick, and it's not.
Rotisserie.
Not rotisserie.
No.
I'll be.
It's
I'll be
similar to
one sec.
rotisserie.
I'll be 1 second if you guys
It
don't
is
get it. I'll be-
shawarma.
It is shawarma, yeah.
I said that.
There's
Yeah,
something-
Said it.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I'm saying. You're right. It's a Middle Eastern thing.
Yeah.
yeah. Shawarma is both the name of the food as a whole and also the way they cook it on the spit.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Oh yeah,
shawarma?
shawarma
Swear
girl.
to God,
yeah,
I thought it was.
Oh yeah.
shawarma.
And, okay. Sorry. And the thin sliced cuts are called the gyros or gyros. There's a lot of ways to pronounce it.
Ito.
Gyros.
Although it's technically pronounced.
Gyro. I'm still gonna call it a gyro because it sounds cooler. Oh,
No, it doesn't.
dude, are you all right? Dude, shut up. Sorry. It's
All right.
Reference.
Esther's gonna gather the party, and we are going to get shawarma.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So you guys get Genasi shawarma. First of all, let's mark off like a gold piece each. It's cheap.
How much? Okay, I gotta buy for the family though.
It's a gold piece each, so it's like 5 gold pieces.
Okay.
So you guys get a wonderful, heavily spiced Genasi shawarma.
Hmm.
And generalized opinion, it is of basically a desert lion that's been very carefully marinated so that the meat goes from like a gamey to like a soft fatty meat. Did you also notice Zeke and Esther with new bags holding?
Sorry, no, just the.
Mm.
Hmm.
Are you making meat fatty?
What do you mean how to make a meat patty? You grind the
Meat
and make
fatty. You said fatty.
Fucking magic and shit.
Okay, as long as that's acknowledged.
I know. The one I was looking for
Yes,
was tender. I just picked fatty by
For
accident.
the viewers who are so invested in cooking, you can't just turn a meat fatty.
Yep.
It requires magic,
I
just
meant,
so you know.
I meant tender. Fuck off.
I know.
No.
So we wrap up the shawarmas because heat stay in
Yep.
and go.
Everything
back
is heat,
to
though.
Oasis. Go to Oasis to
So-
eat.
You return back to the Oasis, and you see the Duke sitting across a small table from the Rose one, deep in a conversation.
And you see Rosalind stop at the entrance.
You didn't think about this, did you?
Uh-oh.
I forgot
Goodness.
completely.
Hasn't your dad
There's a
met your
pat on the
boyfriend?
shoulder.
No, he does not even know I'm a warlock.
He doesn't know what?
Are you
was very
serious?
vague on that topic.
Let's go talk. And Asher just like pushes on the back of Rosalind.
Oh
What
my
do you think?
Sister's just like,
Rosalind.
Rosalind, how did you hide your magic for so long?
I didn't
What did-
hide my magic. He knew I had magic, but I was very vague about the source. I think he was assuming sorcerer or maybe druid.
Wizard, possibly, maybe.
What's wrong
Study.
with the warlock?
You're-
Also remember that she got her magic about, I don't know, a day before we actually met her. And
Like 6 months ago.
and everything since then until now has been the time in which she's had it, which she's been adventuring with us.
Also, warlocks are a little bit culturally questionable, depending.
Also, we've been to Anther like 5 times. We go to Anther like once a month, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You see the Duke turn around with this marionette grin on his face,
Uh-oh, good luck.
Oh.
and just very quiet. Just, Rosalind, my dear, come here.
That's all you, Roz.
You just like pat your shoulder.
Smiles and heads over.
Diamonds if you need it, don't you worry, dear.
And he kind of like
You'll be okay.
he takes your hand gently and like guides you towards the seat next to him, and turns to you with Rose One just sitting very politely in his chair.
It was before I met her.
And
Let's slide that in.
so as you
So,
sit
like,
down,
You can like. Oh, sorry.
you see him like try to say something and like make a motion with his mouth that you know means that he has cotton mouth right now. He turns to you and just like, so Rosalind,
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong, as I think this fool of a man is trying to tell me that he's your magical patron.
Oh no. Oh no.
This would be the rose one. And he is an archfey.
And he is your
Source of my magic. Or at least the one who
the way he
gifted it?
described it. He said he planted a seed in you that has
Oh my
grown
God.
into quite the
No.
power.
Oh no. Oh no. Rose!
Admonished him for the poor phrasing, and he laughed.
Crossbow clicks.
Please
Oh no!
tell me that you're not secretly pregnant with Archface child.
No!
Just please
No!
promise me that.
No!
Okay.
Oh,
I know
heavens,
some of
no.
the legends. I know.
Ashta
yeah.
does the party hear this?
Yeah.
Okay, Ashta's coming in with a drop kick to the Archfey.
No,
You do so and just pass through his body like he's made of a cloud.
Yep, alright.
Esther is on the ground laughing because holy fuck.
Yep. The Archfey just kind of sighs and snaps his fingers, and you guys watch as basically Rosalind, the Duke, and the Rose One kind of separate from time from you guys. This barrier comes up between you guys.
Oh, you bitch.
Oh, come on. Again.
The Duke kind of nods to him and just
Oh
says,
god, oh no.
So, my dear, would you like to explain to me how this deal came about, please?
it was in the spire. I
Makes
needed
sense.
a way out. And he offered the means. Funnily enough, he knows my, for lack of a better term, birth father?
See, he told me that too.
Mm.
I was going to wait until you came to ask details on that, and I think that's a conversation for just us two. But you are aware that that is the patron of the Rose Forest as well, right?
I am aware, yes.
You're aware that, well,
Uncle?
it's not really done anymore.
Mm.
But by some definitions of the forest culture, that makes you the high priestess and the warden of the forest.
That
It
part
is
had
your
not been
responsibility.
brought up.
No, it's a cultural thing. It's not something that comes from him. But, well, there's only ever one Rose Warlock at a time. And, the last I knew, the Darkling Matron was the previous Rose patron.
She was.
Traditionally, the new one, eliminates the old.
I asked about that.
Did you kill the matron yourself?
No. No, I'm not sure who did. I was at the top of a flight of stairs, and when I got to the bottom, she was already gone.
Alright. And what are the parameters of your deal?
Alright, I'm trying to remember Conrad because I think that it was something that was already... It was the warning the Archdruids prior to the peduncle attack.
Yeah, that was basically the only
Mhm.
thing you had to do.
Yep. And she'll, in that case, very briefly explain that prior to the events of Peduncle, the Rose One gave her a warning and instructed her to give it to these various individuals, and that was one of the very first things she did on that journey she set out on with the group.
He kind of looks a bit puzzled at that. Looks at the Archfey and he smiles and says, "The deal was only for the seed. Everything that came afterwards was her strength and her growth. I simply opened the door. Don't get me wrong, Duke, I'm still a Fae. I'm a trickster, powerful Fae, but I see no need to trick Rosalind. No deals need to be made. Her act potentially is going to save your country and therefore save my forest. So, that is the only thing I asked of her." The Duke kind of looks back to you and just kind of takes your hand and just like, "You haven't done anything dastardly with these powers, have you?"
I believe it depends on who you ask. I'm sure that some of my companions could tell you about some little jokes I've pulled. But truly dastardly, no.
So am I to believe you're taking a much more prominent role in this dragon fighting I heard about than you previously implied?
I...
His eyes are boring into you like you're a child again.
I don't believe I ever said that I was staying out of it.
Note I used the word implied.
I more did not correct inference.
Yes, that sounds like you. My dear, why didn't you tell me? Did you think I would punish you?
I thought you would worry. Far too much.
I think worrying about you the appropriate amount is what I've been doing and would have done. I'm still worried you're fighting a dragon, but at least I would have known that you have strength to back it up, not just... You're not just surrounded by strong people. You are one of them. And more than just name. I know you are strong and you are the politician of your group. But to know that you're also a powerful, combatively effective spellcaster is something reassuring. I know you're capable. I just didn't know what you were capable of.
I'll put it that way, and perhaps I should have said it, though. I assumed that you assumed that at the very least I'd learned, unlocked some other magic, and I thought that you only didn't know the source, not that the extent was not the part in question.
I knew you had magic, and I knew you had magic that the people closest to you, standing in my court, were willing to tell me was impressive. And as much as I trust them, every father fears the stereotype of the noblewoman who gets it over her head being their daughter. Knowing that you're a warlock and that you've handled an effective deal, and that, from what he tells me, you've fought things more powerful than you've explained to me, that you're not just the politician, is definitely more than I assumed. The only magic you've displayed around me is the magic to charm and your pet pseudo dragon.
I haven't really needed to display any other magic.
Of course. And I would have appreciated knowing, though I can at least understand what you did. Can I ask you, please, just tell me what your extents are?
I'm not sure how to put it in a way you understand. You know that I can cast myself or another into someone's dream? As long as I know one of them?
So it's not just those magic items you made, then?
Oh no. No, I made those magic items from that spell. I could cast it myself. I can draw vines around me, I can encourage some growth of plants, I can open a door into... This is recent, I can open a door into a demiplane.
That's powerful magic indeed. He kind of leans back in his chair and takes a deep sip of his drink. It's tea, but it's... You get the implication that whatever was in that cup, he can't taste it at this point.
The symbology is there.
Yeah. He just sighs and says, "So am I a fool for not finding out until now, or...?"
No, I simply didn't mention it, and I don't believe that you had any reason to. Well,
No,
warlocks are rare.
My daughter is one of the most powerful spellcasters I've ever had the pleasure to meet. And you didn't think I would like to know that?
Oh, Esther and Xenia are
Of equal skill, from what I hear.
far more impressive.
And you are far more modest of yourself than your friends. I thought you knew simple cantrips, and maybe you could set your hands aflame if you needed to protect yourself, but this changes a lot about how I perceive you. Not in a negative way. I'm sure Sam's here will be glad there's a magical other that, if they need to, they can at least ask for a favor upon. You also do enchanting work, from what I hear. Quite good enchanting work. Better than I assumed.
I've been working on it. We're taking a little bit of a break, but I'd be willing to do small things.
of other plans right now. I don't mean to immediately put your skills to responsibilities. Just it's all my power has ever come from my words, from my deals, from my inherited luck of the land I live in. It's not a skill to be admonished, of course, but magical assistance. I know how learning magic and learning the powers of spellcasters and great warriors changes the mind and changes the body over time. How the tutors can teach you things you never thought you could understand. Whatever you choose to do, you will be so much greater than myself. Or at least have the chance to be, if you choose to take it and put the work for it. And that means I can set my hopes higher for you than I had before, and still be pleasantly surprised by the extent in which you reach. So please, answer me honestly. How many dragons have you fought?
Oh.
Do you really want to know?
Ha.
From what I hear from Issa, the castle you colonized,
Oh dear, that one.
had to be ousted of quite a number of dragons.
To be quite honest, I'm not sure how many were in there. I didn't personally fight all of them. It was very much a group effort. We had our squads with us.
My dear,
Um,
is it more than one? Just in that castle?
Only one was significantly powerful.
Relative to you. I assure you, if I was there, it would be very significant, no matter how young or old it was. I
Well,
heard rumors of the Grey Dragon of the Eastern Forest being slain as well.
yes, that was the one that you were aware of, as the call for help was while you were present, and
And something about a Dragon of the Earth?
that was
As
recent.
well as one from a soldier who happened to pass by and spoke to Rose for a little while, and well, they were telling tales of how you led them into battle with a mutated dragon beneath the earth that was harassing the entirety of Citadel.
Hmm.
I heard reports of that bank robbery of that dragon. I didn't realize you were part of the group who slayed it.
Yes.
I was wondering why Prince Rainier kept sending me letters.
Oh,
He has spoken highly of you, if it helps, as you're a wonderful politician. Didn't mention anything about dragons. I have to wonder if that was something you put as task to.
well, good.
And I take it you don't stop at dragons, do you? You fight whatever needs to be fought, don't you?
If need be.
Very well. Sir Rosewood, would you mind dropping the barrier for me? And the Rosewood kind of nods and snaps his fingers, and the Duke very politely stands up, dusts off his pants, walks over to you, Ashta, as you're dusting yourself off, as, to you, no time passed.
Hmm.
And he walks over to you as you're beginning to stand up, and he grabs you by the collar of your armor and picks you up.
Oh, no.
And holds you very close to his face.
Uh-oh.
Dear Ashta, I have a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
By all means.
How much of a role of a general do you play in this group of yours upon the island? From what I hear, you're the one of the moral backbones and one of the major decision makers on who to fight with.
That title's kind of been drifted towards me. Not exactly by my own choice, but people do say
That's
that,
okay.
yes.
But when it comes to if a fight should be taken, I take it you are one of the primary people to decide if a fight should occur.
If we have the freedom to make that choice, yes.
Yes. And as well, the one who, I presume, decides whether or not a risk is worth taking.
Oh, you are not going to blame all of this on him.
Oh, no, of course not, dear Rosalind, but I have to ask. You are in charge of determining if a fight is too big for you, yes?
Not fully.
But you are one of them. One of the major ones from what I hear. Every warrior I've spoken to that ever went to that island, every report speaks of an Aasimar with wings of ice that commands the battlefield and shoots from afar.
I'm the loud one, I guess.
And by your judgment, Rosalind has always held her weight and never disappointed in combat?
Nods.
Good. Then it's your responsibility to make sure she's never in over her head. I asked you to protect her. This extends now that I know what she can do.
That was already understood, even without your knowledge.
Yes. Now, you said we discussed taking risks, and you don't seem to have calculated the risk in it not telling me that the person who I put in charge of her guard was very aware of what she was doing and the danger she was in, despite whether she was able to handle it or not. You don't think that was a risk in not telling me, or was it just one that was worthy?
It was one that I requested. Very
That's-
specifically.
Yes.
He was
And
doing as
he-
I asked. They all
He
were
chose
in
not to.
this.
He just holds a finger up, says, Rosalind, please. Is this correct, Ashton?
Followed her request as a friend.
Good. I expect you to continue protecting her, as she will protect you from the political machinations that you seem to be fighting through, and I suspect will be growing more and more dangerous soon.
Nods. Take responsibility for anything and everything.
No, she's responsible for herself. You're just responsible for making sure someone's there to watch out for her, if she can't handle it.
I'll go above and beyond then.
No? That's what those wings are for, aren't they? He turns over to Xenia. Xenia, my dear.
Uh-oh.
You're the healer?
Yes.
Reaches into his bag and pulls out 6,000 gold pieces worth of diamonds and just hands it to you. I don't care if she loses. I don't care if she loses the fight. You bring her back to me.
What diamonds are they?
Mine.
No, what kind of diamonds is Intez asking? Are they for
It's 6 1,000 gold piece size diamonds. You bring her back to me, no matter what happens. You bring all of you back to me, and bring yourself back twice if you need to and get more diamonds.
Sir, with all due respect. Yeah. Anyway.
Just take it.
Oh, Xenia's already stuffing them in the bag of holding.
Yep.
Good.
He turns to you first, puts a hand on your shoulder, and just go, realize the people you follow are absolutely insane. And that they're very much worth following anyways.
I gathered that, yes.
As long as you're aware of it. Turns to Esther and just, Esther, you've been a mad woman since I met you. Keep her alive.
Duke,
Plan to.
Duke, I want to be honest with you.
Yes.
I got 2 dads, so I can't say you're the father I've never. You're like the father I've never had. So like, you're like the
I'm a
mother.
version of a father. Never had.
No, you're like the mother I never had.
I'll take it. I had to be a father to mother most of her life anyways.
And for a high five.
Alright.
High five!
He puts a hand out at kind of waist level.
Five.
Thank you.
And as you go to swing down, he pulls it out of the way and slicks his hair back. Too slow, my dear. He starts walking away.
Oh my god, he's slick. He's slick.
You'll need an extra diamond on that one.
I just got abandoned by a second mother.
Would
He
you like
walked-
aloe vera?
Too slow.
He walks by Rosalind, kind of pats you on the shoulder, and just goes, I feel that was an appropriate chastisement. You haven't asked for gold in a while. I was just saving up this diamond for you. So, enjoy. And he kind of walks off, and he goes to sit down in the Oasis, takes off his boots, puts his feet in the water, lays back, starts snoring.
I mean, to be fair,
What?
out of all of us who have died, it hasn't been Rosalind.
It's only been Esther.
It's only been me.
The only one's died.
Wait, fuck.
Yeah.
Literally the
Well,
only
I-
one that's died.
Yep.
Is Vlad here right now?
He's around. He's in the Oasis.
Okay, because
As
he
usual, he's
doesn't
paddling
know.
around.
He doesn't know that she died and came back.
Your daughter died and came back, so what can you expect? Like another like fucking daughter, am I right?
Oh.
Although
I
on
was
that-
not aware that you died.
Purvis
On-
doesn't know.
On that, since we're having revelations today, Esther, maybe you should go talk to him.
Ooh,
The person who doesn't know that you died.
fine. Fervis, you didn't know I.
You joke about it a lot.
I
I feel like shit.
no.
Yeah.
Rayla
I,
kind of floats out of the pocket and just goes, I mean, Aquarius died too for a while.
I'd run him back. Wait.
It was in Valeri. When the first time we were ever there, I was hit by an Azer, ironically, and very ironically considering developments.
It's kind of funny.
That's so fucking funny. You know, last Leo almost dies again by an Aether. You know, it'd be like that. Look. And my abilities were taken. And I was given something different.
Some really cool brain powers, dude.
I used to be a scion, Fervis. And now I'm not. I'd like to be, but I'm not.
We'll kill Brain Man for your brain back. Don't you worry.
Well, I mean, I was told that if I do bring a nervous system of a dragon, there is a possibility of getting a boon like that back.
Ooh, sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, I really got that. Now that we're putting everything on the table, I just spent 1,500 gold in about 20 minutes. No
was like
one
an
give
hour
me
and a half.
money ever again. Hour and a half. No one give me money ever again.
Say again.
I spent 1,500 gold in
On
an hour and a half.
That bag could not have been that expensive. If it was, we are going back to that merchant and getting your money back because he
No, it's
It
this.
wasn't.
And Xenia like hip checks the spice rack of holding because I
It's just
needed a
like
magic
just a small wallet on a chain, basically.
little wallet because I bought one of each spice at that very big spice tent.
So you have
one
pretty
of
much-
each,
One of each.
like the whole stock.
That,
Yeah,
that can't
Yeah.
have been too expensive.
400
It's
gold.
400.
Really?
It
Yep.
was a lot of spices, Rosalind.
I didn't. All right.
And then I bought a couple pillows.
I feel like the word couple is an outright lie.
Bought,
Esther's not saying anything.
I
but
bought
the
a-
look on her
How
face.
many was it again?
I bought a few pillows.
I feel like that's
You
a gross
bought
under-exaggeration.
200.
There we go.
And he just like Fervis does the thing where just like when like the parents are talking and like when you go over to your friend's house and his parents start fighting and so you just sort of like walk off a little bit just like
Yep.
oh okay.
I bought
You get
200 pillows.
quickly pulled aside by some of the younger Mackins.
I bought 200 pillows.
You don't have enough?
Speaking of pillows,
I
where
wanna
is
go-
my daughter? We're just gonna walk off.
I would like to buy more pillows. But unfortunately, they were out of stock.
Bought the stock.
And Rosalind's gonna walk off after Esther.
What?
We
You find Jade very serenely floating in basically a pool floaty with Vlad.
I love my child. She's in a little pool. I'm gonna cry. Sorry. I love this kid. And Esther will just kind of climb into the water.
Can we save the next pillow-based purchase until one more Zodiac is dead?
Only one?
Nods.
Senior just bursts into a hug for Tasha. Thank you.
And then after that, and this is not permission to buy an unreasonable, and keep in mind I'm saying this in your scale, unreasonable amount of pillows.
What
The next chance you get.
would you like to know unreasonable in my scale?
How about this? You get another 200 the next time you kill a Zodiac.
You know, the talk we had about you lightening up a little bit, it's working. You're doing really well.
You're not wrong.
Just a smile. Shit-eating grin.
Thank you. And Asha walks off.
Hey, at least I didn't burst myself into 3 other personalities this time. Okay.
There's a distant what? From one of the kids.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He's gonna go count their pillows.
You know exactly how the pillows are. You've cataloged them each.
Oh, I did.
They are branded like marked cards in your bag.
Probably check on the papers then and do math.
You find Sammy completely asleep, absolutely surrounded in papers. Every single one of them is done.
Make her a
This-
little mini pillow for it.
Yep. As soon as you enter, she kind of like looks towards you and just pull into the trance like, so time really doesn't pass here unless we want it to.
Huh.
To me, you've been gone for a week. I got so much work done, and no one bothered me. I'm caught up. I'm weeks ahead of what I needed to get done.
So proud of you, but are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I don't need to sleep 4 hours.
Want to make a pillow fort?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. How many pillows do you have?
100.
Oh my god. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, how much did that cost?
100.
Oh, they totally ripped you off.
But I was shirtless. I was shirtless.
Oh, it's still an okay price, but like, you got festival prices. You should have bought that wholesale. I know a guy.
Your father's the. Yeah, if we go.
Do you want just a crate of pillows? I can get you a crate for the same price.
From the lips.
She takes it and just. That happens.
Yeah.
Alright.
Today's word of the day is enable.
I'll be right back.
Just in the meantime, Rosalind is going after Esther for a reason. This doesn't take DM input, I'm pretty sure. So, Esther, Rosalind is gonna come up and let you know that she got something for you.
Esther is sitting in the shallows of the water, kind of twirling Jade around on her pool floaty as this little child is giggling maniacally.
Mhm.
She kind of looks up, just, you didn't have to get me anything.
It's to go with your room. And,
Oh.
well, personally, I always find it relaxing, satisfying. There's contentment in taking care of a plant. I followed a bit of a hope and a hunch, and it paid off. And I found you this. She's going to pull out a potted plant. I will say that we never specified any name for it or appearance for it, but I did specify that the plant that I wanted to get was one that would actually be nurtured by fire. The sort of thing where you potentially would feed it by giving it hot coals or a little fire cantrip. and that would actually make it grow instead of destroy it.
Thank you. Again, I'm so sorry
No,
about.
you don't have to be.
And why do I feel like I have to?
Because the mind is a funny thing about those sorts of matters. Just know that however many times we must, we're going to pick things up and put them back together if they happen to fall. And we'll find ways to make it better each time.
I know this is going to come off as a strange request, but I need you to make me a promise.
That would depend on the terms of the promise, but I'll listen.
If something should happen to me, I would like you to take care of Jade.
Esther, if something should happen to you, we are going to stop at nothing to bring you back.
That's not what I mean. Not Death is not the only thing that can happen to a person that makes them unfit to parent. If anything should happen to me, I ask that you take care of her.
Not Guriel? He seems as good as her parent.
He would. But I worry that if something happens to me, he would be a little undisposed for a while. And there are many things Guriel can teach her, but some things... some things need to be taught by others. And I know that if you step in to take care of her, Ashta and Xenia and Fervis will all follow. Guriel will watch over her, but I know you will teach her things that he can't. Just as Ashta will, just as Fervis, and just as Xenia.
If it ever came to that, I would do my best.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear.
So, from there, a singular, piercing clap rings out throughout the oasis as the Lord of Roses steps to the center, floating above the water, and says, "Well, friends, family, folk, the time in which I can maintain this little piece of the Feywild is at its end. From here on out, please enjoy your cultural festivals as guests, as friends, as family. I hope that this was a welcome time for each of you. Farewell." And he winks to you, Rosalind. And as he claps, the oasis and the structures that were built by his illusions begin to fade as the ever-present noise of the gathering rises up in the periphery of your ears. And you sit still in a relatively sheltered oasis, mostly away from people, as it is a huge oasis. All sitting under one large tent with a rose pattern spiraling out from the center pole. It's about 2 hours past noon. And you all are released from the stoppage of time for the time being. As the ever-present Vlad continues to float in the Oasis, not even notice anything happened.
Dad,
Yeah?
time's going back to normal now, just so you know.
Okay. Am I late for something?
No, just time is going to be back to normal. We aren't just stuck in a loop anymore.
Okay, cool. He just leans back and continues floating.
Lean over to Esther. How long do you think, from his perspective, he's been here?
I'll be
Years.
completely honest. He's most likely has no concept of the passage of time right now.
I don't think he noticed the time being different in the first place.
Whoa,
for
Ashton,
sure
where'd you
has-
come from?
Mm,
Stop
I'm
being
very
so
light on my feet.
I know, stop it.
He's
Space got
trying
moved
to
around
be-
it, but when it ended,
So, as you guys finish off the last of your shawarma and take a last little bit to relax, the Duke finally wakes up from his brief nap at the Oasis side, looks around, kind of confused at what's changed, stands up, looks over to Vlad. Vlad explains very quickly what happened in the least amount of details physically possible to explain that time is back to normal.
We
Um,
saved you some lunch.
Oh, thank you. And he takes it and eats it ravenously. And as you guys kind of begin to feel the air cooling once more as the sun is lower in the sky and no longer beaming quite so heavily down on everything, you notice this almost like a shift in the crowd as people are all starting to kind of gather and move towards the center of this bone city that has been risen from the ground.
Come on, one of the first events is starting.
Oh,
Lead the way.
let's go.
So, as you guys make your way towards the center, people almost seem to part way for all of you. The crowd is dense. It's very difficult to see through it. Zini, probably the best luck of it. And Zini, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Is this on the whim or can I guidance myself?
I'll say this is on a whim.
20.
26. Distantly in the kind of lowered pit of the general speaking ground, which Esther has explained to you earlier, basically, any major speakers are free to speak at any time. You have religious folk who go there all the time. You have healers, sages, matrons doing seminars, things of the sort. Anyone who's important and wants to speak.
Whoa, TED Talks.
Speak. Basically, yeah. Standing in the center of it, in a rather modest wooden and stone pedestal, Leo is standing there with a big smile on his face.
I knew it!
Oh. I don't want to say hi to him because, like, we know who it is.
Esther's walking directly up to Leo.
As you notice this and explain this to Esther, I assume, the crowd parts in front of you, Esther. None of them seemingly intentionally. It almost happens naturally. He smiles and says, hello, Esther. Come. I have a proposition, and I want someone who can stop me if I'm being insensitive to the people here. Would you mind lending a hand?
Of course, and she'll turn to Xenia and hand off Jade. You guard her with your life. And Esther will walk up to Leo.
And he smiles and helps from the platform, lends out a hand to you. It's fiery beneath your touch, but you don't care at this point. It's the flames of Leo barely even register to you.
Asher looks over to Z. Asher looks over to Xenia. Give me some magic. Guidance.
Kick him with guidance.
Asher's inciting the fuck out of Leo right now.
Go for it.
That's small sound numbers. 32.
Oh my god.
He is actively plotting nothing dangerous. There's no predatory movement that he's making. but you can see the beginning of someone whose plan has already begun.
Come on.
Yep, quick feint of that insight to everyone, and he's just keeping a beat on him best he can.
I
Leo,
Yes.
I will aid you in this. If we can have a conversation afterwards. There's something
Oh.
important we need to discuss.
Well, and he kind of looks out, and all of you heard that perfectly clear. Says, anything you say up here will be heard well, and I'm happy to discuss here. I've nothing to hide. I'm simply a messenger today. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. I am someone not liked by many people. Esther here included. We have had our disagreements in the past, but she is a matron that I assure you, you all can trust with your life. She wants nothing more than the prosperity of the Genasi folk, as well as all folk of this realm.
You misunderstand me. I don't dislike you. I find you neutral.
And some would find that more distasteful than most, but please, I'm not here to cause any problems. But I am here because I see in you kin, or most of you may not see me as kin. And not just the Fire Genasi, not just the Tieflings, who might have family from the Plane of Fire. I've been sent here to speak to the Genasi, from our perspective, those of the Inner Planes. And yes, I am from the Inner Planes. I am, by definition of your leaders, your country's leaders, your enemy. I am a Zodiac. I am Leo. In the crowd, a wave of fear percolates through him as he says this, and he says, please, as I said, Esther here is a powerful spellcaster. I'm not here to cause any troubles. I want her here to show that I am not a danger to you. We've interacted before, we've made a deal before. But I'm here to speak to all of the Genasi today. From our perspective, you are the chosen people of this land. You are not the chosen people of the society. This land is yours. You are of the plains and of the realms, and this plain is all of your homes. This desert, even more specifically, has been designated as the part of your home in which you must stay, but it is yours. But I know some of you don't like that you have only a small portion of a country that is, by all intents and purposes, should be as open to you as any other person, if not more. The Druids don't trust you because, well, you're like us. You're a planar. You are the opposition to that power in a good many ways, just like the elves used to be, but they have had the benefit of age and being many of the leaders. They were able to help brush off some of those side effects in a way that you have not been allowed the same benefits. And I want to extend to you from my master, Ophiuchus. As he says this, Ashta, every single one of your magical sensors goes off.
Yep.
Most of the rest of you too, but Ashta specifically. And
Esther...
in front of Leo, hold on, a small swirling vortex opens up. Ashta, this is a portal, period.
Leo?
Please, let me
Close
finish my
it.
offer. Let me finish my offer, please. This is a portal to the inner planes. I have been allowed to open it, such that any of the Genasi who wish to leave this land are free to do so. War will come here, whether it is from us or from the spellcasters of this realm fighting again. We may not be the family you've grown up with, but we are of the same blood as you. I'm not going to pretend there's no war, no conflicts, no unjust leaders on my side. But This, while it may be your home, and maybe the land that belongs to you, doesn't feed you the way that the inner planes do. Any of you who have awakened your powers as a Genasi, spells, magic of any kind, they'll be powerful there. You can cultivate it like a plant finally given the right nutrients, like a flame given fuel, like air no longer contained. So please, any who have considered this before, who will consider this, find me. I will welcome you in my home. Any who wish to step forward now, you may do so. The portal is open to you. Unless, Esther, you plan to stop them. As I said, I don't know if I'm offering something of offense here, but from the history that I've studied, this should be a welcome thing to many of your people. A place where you're no longer oppressed, where you can grow freely. What else could you want?
May I be allowed to speak?
Of course, please, please. The platform is yours. And he actually takes a step down on the platform to let you speak.
To all of you, what Leo is offering is, I understand, something that is very enchanting. The prospect of going back to a place where our ancestors once descended. But our ancestors came for a reason, and we have remained so long for a reason. Look around you. Look at your families, at your friends, at the clothes you wear, at the colors you hold, at this city and the magic that flows through it. Yes, we are descended of the plains, and that I understand. I myself am born of fire. Look at what I am. And I understand that those who would wish to go back to the plains are more than willing to do so. And to even insinuate that I would stop you is utterly ridiculous. Because I understand the desire to go back to some place that your bloodline came from. But I will say this. Just because we came from a place does not mean that we are of that place. Just because of our power that might be drawn from a place does not mean that we are of that place. Sure, we do draw, and sure it is a part of us, but one piece does not define the whole puzzle. If we had not left the plains and come here, this would have never been created. This society, this people, our people. And who knows, maybe 100 or 1,000 years from now, things will be different, as they will always be. Time will change. But if it is the fear of war that will drive you to that portal, please know that war exists everywhere. There will always be times of peace, but there will always be times of combat. And if you are scared, I understand. Believe me, fear is normal. We are all scared for our people, for our families, for our children, for where we stand. We are stronger together. We are strong in what we have created. Despite all the hardships we have faced as a people, as individuals, yet as a larger family, we have still prevailed. Do we run this country? No. But do we govern our own lives? Make our own choices? Define our own fates? Like Leo said, I am a powerful spellcaster, that I will not deny. But I was not born a spellcaster. Through my choices and my actions, I became who I was today. Please remember that the same goes for all of you, despite the hardships that we face, despite the way that we may be viewed from other people. What is important is how we view ourselves and what we believe we are capable of, not what other people define us as. Go to the plains if you wish. I wish you the best of luck and all the most fortune, and I hope that whatever it is you are looking for, you find. But do remember all that you have learned and what we have created here. What we have made here. What we are here. And what we mean and stand for here. That is all I wish to say.
Okay.
Whatever any of you decide, know that you are loved by everyone that you know. And know that you have a place anywhere you choose to make one. And that is all.
Okay.
Over the course of all this, did Ashton notice anything new with Leo?
What specifically are you looking for?
Just his disposition, just if there's any like reactions, facial or otherwise, to what Esther is saying. If he himself saying anything, it feels like he's actually believing it, or it's for the crowd.
Roll insight with advantage, because technically he's an elemental.
Alright. Yep.
Do you want Mac?
Mm-hmm.
If Ashton goes kick me, I'll kick him.
Yep.
Okay.
29.
29. Okay. You see he looks a little bit nervous at the strength of Esther's speech. So, Esther, you're going to make a persuasion check, but because of the nature of your argument, you'll be making it as a history check, as you were drawing on the national identity of the Genasi for this check. I have already rolled Leo's number, and it will be competing against him.
Can I, like, give Xenia a glance?
I can't. It's
Okay,
touch.
Ashta relays the thing to Esther real quick, and basically just says, if
This
he's
was
nervous.
technically this is technically while she was making the speech. So
Yeah, that's fine. This is at the end. Just if there's anything else Esther might want to add on at the end, or anyone
You know
else,
what?
just the thing of he looks nervous, nervous that you're doing too good. If he actually cared about what these people thought, then he wouldn't care. He wouldn't worry about that.
And actually, Esther's gonna turn to Leo.
Really quick, still give me that history check for the first part of the speech.
Okay. So
It's
scared.
intelligence. Fane can give you advantage.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. Fuck. We're gonna do
It's
that.
not like
'cause I'm
charisma.
fucking-
You can get that.
Oh.
Okay.
It's okay.
Leo rolled a 16.
Oh my god!
Okay, so you have succeeded in the first part of the speech because he rolled a 2 on his initial roll.
Okay, wait. Does he have a plus 14?
He has a plus 14 to persuasion.
Fuck, okay. Dude. Okay, Esther's just gonna kind of look to Leo and to you. Though you may not know it, you face the same prejudice as my people. For when you step off of your plane and onto ours, people look at you differently. Just as my ancestors did when they stepped off your plane and came to this one. But we have made a home and a place. I do not know what your motives are. I do not know where your loyalties truly lie. And I will not ever pretend to know. Quite frankly, I see you as you. From what I can tell, you are a person with a moral code that is defined solely by himself. Is that necessarily good or bad? Yes and no. I cannot say. Just know that, like us, you have a place wherever you choose to define it. And
Okay.
if you wish for a place that happens to be here, I will advocate for you. Because I believe that you care about these people as much as I do, despite what you might be told to do, or say, or act. And I believe in you.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check with advantage for success in the last roll. If you get above a 15, due to your comments, he will have
Stop.
disadvantage on his next roll.
I'm so scared. Okay.
Was there any
DC
bonus
15.
from Ash's like insight feign over to Esther?
I'll say that out of this, it's kind of a dynamic DC in
Mhm.
combination.
Okay.
With so
Okay, I'm gonna
persuasion,
click it.
persuasion check with advantage.
I'm so scared.
17.
God!
So he will have disadvantage on his next roll.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
So he steps up once more to the platform. He says, I understand I can't speak on the history of the Genasi, or will I try to? Of course, Esther is the expert there. But again, I come here as an extension of my master. I understand I seem self-serving to you, Esther, and I understand that in our past dealings I have been self-serving. I will not deny that. I'm a merchant by trade. What I offer you is a chance to avoid the risk of the war on this side turning against you. It was with a heavy heart that this war began. It's not a decision that I was led to vote on. But we did it without the full realization that in the past few hundred years, the nature of the people chosen by this land has changed. No longer are you the blessed, beholden Genasi, who are from the desert but have use everywhere. Your magics make you welcome anywhere that respects the land. That was what it was like when we were last here. But on our return, and after the war had already started, we realized that because of our influence, because the druids choose to draw magic where they're due, because the wizards did not respect the land like the druids or you did, that suddenly you're the target of every negative thought people have of our planes. And this war will only make things worse for you. We offer you this not entirely altruistically, of course, but as an ask for forgiveness. Because we fear what if we happen to lose this war, what will happen to the Genasi as repercussion. And I'm going to have Leo roll his next check. This time we'll take it off self because I forgot to last time.
I'm so scared.
Actually, I'm going to leave it to self just in case because I don't want to reveal what kind of roll it is. Okay. He gestures towards you, Esther, to respond, as this seems to have been a far more effective line of reasoning than his last one.
Like I had previously stated, war is frightening. The Zodiacs have already brought combat onto this plane, as well as our side has brought combat onto theirs. There is no denying that, and there's no sense in beating around this bush. It is something that is scary. My family, my blood, my sisters and my brothers, and my mother even have fought in this combat. I have fought in this combat. My friends have fought in this combat, and we know that there is nothing romantic about war. But I do understand Leo's reasoning, I do. But I'm sorry. I don't agree with leaving a place that we have formed into our own for a place that we may have a chance of something different. Yes, I will not deny that those outside of the desert, more towards the north, look at our kind with a bit of trepidation. But that is because it is humanoid nature to fear what they do not understand. It is something that has kept beings alive for centuries, to fear what you do not understand, just as a child is afraid of the dark, because they do not know what it could contain. They are afraid of us because they do not know what we contain. But through time, and through effort, and through peace, through conversation and discussion and debate, there are hundreds of opportunities to change the mind of one person after another after another. It may not happen in a day, and it may not happen in a week or a year, and it has taken years to get to where we are now. And it will take years to get to where we would like. But a conversation can change a mind. And the mind can change a town, and a town can change a city, and a city can change a country. Look at what happened in Anther. Peduncle was destroyed, and the people flooded to Anther. People poured in for support and kindness. I was there when Peduncle fell. The amount of people of all different walks of life I saw protecting their own. Genasi, even. Genasi helping others. Other people helping Genasi. Tribal members. Everybody. I will not deny that racism is something that exists in our country. Because it does. But it can be changed. Just like everything can change. Time goes on. And, Leo, I understand that you might not have been a vote for this fight, but you were a voice. Whether your voice carried weight, I'm not sure in that conversation, but it does carry weight now. If you do care for these people, perhaps instead of trying to assuade them to a place where our ancestors came from, but we did not, instead of respecting and appreciating what we have built here, literally from the ground up, sand runs in our veins and water is our blood. Our air is the earth. We are of the earth. We are of this element, of all the elements, and instead of respecting what we have built, instead you try to assuade us to come to a place where we no longer know. I've never been to the Plane of Fire, Leo. And I will address the rest of the crowd. I've never been. I do not know what it is. It may be something, it's something entirely new. And it might be bad and it might be good. But no matter where you choose to go, there will be war. No matter where you choose to fight, there will be war. I've seen war on the plains, and I've seen war here. No matter where you choose to go, there will be fighting. What matters is what you decide you are going to stand for. What you are going to take a stand for, each and every one of you. Whether you will stand for what you have built here, or you will stand for the ancestors of our bloodline. From where their power came from, or where from our power comes now. Power is more than just the elements that run in your blood. It is the earth you walk on, the air you breathe, the family you have, and the friends you make. And as she's saying this, she turns to Ashta, Rosalind, Xenia, and Fervis.
And as you kind of gesture towards them, people do pay attention. You do hear a few acknowledgments of recognition of people whispering that, like, oh, that's this. They were here for this. Speaking of Benson Pinel in Peduncle, in the war on the Plains of Wrath.
We were at Peduncle. We defended the Citadel. We have traveled all over this country fighting fights for people that aren't capable of fighting for themselves. We have talked to leaders of power on both sides, Zodiac and our own leaders here. War is a complicated thing. But what matters for each and every one of us is what you decide to stand for. I know for me, I stand for my home. I stand for my family. I stand for my friends. I stand to protect the culture that I was raised in and the people that I can call mine. I stand for the peace of Plains and the hope that one day we will achieve that. I do not like war. It is important that we fight for what we believe. Because to lie on the sidelines is almost worse. Being passive is almost worse. And she looks to Leo. I will
Okay.
not stop you. I respect you for coming here, for standing in front of people that you did not know their opinions of you. I respect you for that. The fact that you had the courage to come here today and stand in front of these people to offer them a place that you may or may not believe is truly safe. But know that no matter where they go, they will never be truly safe. No one is ever truly safe. In the desert alone, there are scorpions and snakes and spiders. We are never 100% safe. So know that, and please, do not cast slander upon me. I will not stop anybody, for the choice is theirs. I am not a dictator. I simply wear my crest and my colors with a pride that I know that I have for my people and the ones that I love. As I hope you do the same. So go ahead.
All right. So, go ahead and give me a persuasion check, but you can add your proficiency bonus to this.
What do you mean my proficiency bonus?
Charisma
just add-
plus proficiency.
Oh,
Or persuasion plus
okay.
proficiency. So if you already have persuasion proficiency, you get double in this case.
Ooh.
I do not.
Okay, so it'll be just one. So proficiency is +4 for you.
No, I just rolled it with the proficiency. It's +7
Ah,
with
okay.
proficiency.
Oh, you got proficiency +5 already. Okay. All right.
No,
So-
my persuasion is +2.
Sorry, your proficiency, not your persuasion. Okay, so in this case, the speech doesn't go over quite as well.
It's okay.
Despite the kind of, despite the disadvantage you gave to Leo, he rolled a total of a 24.
Of course you did.
He stands one last time and says, "I'll leave it with a short closing comment. I make this journey as someone who comes from a race of enslaved people. We are built to work. We are built to create weapons, to create armor. And there are many rumors as to how this happened to the Azer. Some say that our god formed us this way, some say that Moradin cursed us to toil, not of our own volition. Others say it was retaliation for rising up. Again, I make this offer to you all out of fear. Fear that you will be treated as I know my people have. So please, while I hope for the best and nothing stops you from returning here when things calm again, nothing stops you from simply waiting out the war. Please don't repeat the mistakes of my people, and don't let the mistakes of our leadership be the cause for the end of your freedoms. He kind of nods and steps off the platform and stands in front of the portal, waiting for your last remark.
Can Asha give an insight on you're free to return?
Go for it.
I'm just assuming a guidance at this point.
Yeah, he's just kicking you in the shins.
If you had advantage last time because he's an elemental, wouldn't you have advantage again?
Yeah, you would.
Alright. Oh, 27 then.
27. There's something off in the way he says that. Not in the sake that you can never return. There's something else there. Something he's not saying.
Asha will just say out loud. Truly safe to return. That's a pretty big offer.
Well, of course. We always welcome interplanet travel. We always have. It's the Druids who don't allow it. We would not stop you from leaving.
But would you help them to leave? Or would it only be those who had that magic themselves?
Would you wash your hands of it if they couldn't return back easily?
Personally, I wouldn't have the capabilities, so I myself would wash my hands, but yes. But the planet of fire is a plane of inherent powerful magic and sorcerers. The strength of magic and the commonality of it, while great, here is nothing compared to the plane of fire. Any of you who can cast spells outside of your natural born skills will have it amplified by living there for long enough. I don't know how strong you all will become. You may not need our help to get back.
That's an if.
But
That's a
it
maybe.
is not certain.
No. As I said, I've never promised certainty.
Then there's the risk of these people going to a place that they have been told will accept them with open arms. Yet they may never be allowed to return to the place that they created.
You're not here to promise certainty, but you're certainly here to imply it.
I'm here
Please,
to offer
Leo.
a choice. It's not a choice without risk. And it's not a choice I'm forcing everyone to make today. I will be here for this gathering. Anyone who wants to come over may.
Can Asha get a bead on where that portal goes?
Go for it.
What would that be?
Raw wisdom, but with advantage. And it's a low DC, of course, because obviously.
Yep. Oh my god. 9.
9, okay. Remind me, which planes have you attuned your wings to?
As of now?
Yeah.
Like in the way that I've been to them, or just that I've tried?
That you've tried.
Air, Feywild, Fire, Earth, Water.
You can tell at least that it doesn't go directly to the fire plane.
Sus as fuck.
Where's your portal go?
Where does it go?
You're leaving the door open, you don't even tell anyone what's on the other side.
On the other side is a plane of fire.
You're full of shit.
I'm being as honest as I can. It goes to the plane of fire. I don't know why you don't believe me.
As honest as you can doesn't mean you're being honest.
What's stopping you from actually telling the truth, then?
Sorry,
As honest,
second time?
as honest as you can, what's stopping you from telling the full truth, Leo?
To my knowledge, this goes to the plane of fire.
Ashta, where do you believe
To
that it
my
goes?
knowledge, how are you not certain of your own of where your own?
I'm not certain what it is, but I'm certain it's not that.
You didn't set up that portal, Leo. They did, didn't they?
I have a magic item that allowed me to summon it, yes. Or opening a portal is not a natural born skill of mine.
May I see the item? I will not touch. I just wish to see.
He opens up basically what you would now recognize as you've seen it on one of the Zodiacs before. Basically his Leo symbol.
Esther's gonna cast Identify.
You have to touch to do
You
that.
do have to touch it for that to work.
We know what this
If I touch it, will I be portaled away?
No? Again, I don't believe so. It's an item I've always carried. It's just been temporarily enchanted with the ability to open a portal.
You know what they
Esther will lay a
do?
finger on it.
Okay, so you cast the spell, and people await what you say with abated breath. I need you to roll me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh, lovely.
As a reminder, just in case, upcasting Identify to get a better idea of it is a thing that's been
Yeah.
happening.
Oh no, I was gonna fucking give me a minute.
Just
I was trying
intelligence
to
sa-
upcast it at what was it? I want to upcast it at the highest spell slot I have, which was 8.
Go ahead and click it, and go ahead and make the intelligence save.
Oh dear lord. Okay.
Those were
give me a
tracking.
minute.
Those were basically a tracking device.
Mm-hmm.
28. Okay. You feel something echo. Almost like it tried to speak to you through this symbol, but a pane of glass is in the way and couldn't get through. At your casting, it is a tracking device, as you already know. But as well, it was temporarily given the ability to open a portal to a checkpoint between the plane of fire, the prime material plane, which is your plane, and the astral plane. It is at a crossroads that it leads to.
This leads to a crossroads
Of course.
between the plane of fire and an astral plane. Who has all that background noise?
John.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's background fuzz.
Oh fuck. Let me.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Sorry, that was just really hurting my ear.
Sorry.
So, clear it back. Just gotta grab some water.
I'm trying so hard, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not
No,
the
you're
Doing really
speaker.
well.
You're doing
Yep.
fine.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
great, sweetie.
Don't be afraid to rely on us.
I'm trying to. That's why I was like, help me. That's why I'm reading the chat when you guys are doing all the insights. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I'm hoping this is being feigned to her because she's trying
It
to
is.
like.
No, I said that multiple
Okay.
times.
Because I know, like, this is all, like, she's been adding all that. Like, the moment that you said she was looking dubious, that's why she turned to Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Only I think even like have Esther fan just like help me out. Because right now, at least from my character's perspective, don't know whether to step in or not.
Oh, okay then. Never mind. I'll ask people to come in. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
No worries. I just didn't know whether or not you wanted that to step in or with that, or if that's
Yeah, because again, it's like the thing of like your character moment. So we didn't want to be like, hey, I do her thing. I was just kind of trying to keep it in between.
No,
Yeah.
please step in. I'm
Then please
sorry,
ask
I don't
us.
want to fucking.
Please
Okay, I'm sorry.
Please
It
be
was because
like,
we were in the middle of this debate. I didn't
Yep.
know when to say it. Like, fuck. Like, I.
Say whatever
no,
you want. Conrad can fuck himself.
Okay. As of right now, please help me. I'm trying. I don't want my people to go to Leo.
Yep.
okay. Well,
So just this portal leads to a crossroads between the astral and the plane of fire. You were partially right. But why didn't your commander tell you the full truth? If you wanted to win the trust of my people, why would we not be given the full information?
Again, I cannot speak on it. I was told that there would be a check for magical divination and effectively spies coming over, as we are required to do. I can only imagine that's what this is for.
But you
I've
didn't
been to
tell
the
us that.
astral.
Well, I plan to speak to it to the individuals who came through, rather than letting
After they've made the decision.
before they walk through the portal, so they know they have a choice. But I would rather have avoided announcing it to where all the druids might be able to hear me, so that if they are trying to spy on us, we would know.
And then you made a mistake coming to this plane.
Maybe I did, but
Ashta.
I'm here for my offer. If you wish
He
to...
hasn't done anything wrong.
Hasn't done
Rolling
anything
over.
right either.
Yes, but he's come, he's made an offer. Again, you are a merchant by trade. You have come, you have made an offer, and you will see who accepts it, and you will see who does not.
He
I
wasn't
have
the one
said my piece. Sorry, go ahead.
who was making the offer. The higher up.
No,
He just
you
came.
made...
Xenia's feigning this. He just came because he's probably the one who can convince much better.
Also, if you don't want people taking his offer, make sure you say his offer sucks.
Yeah, just out loud, just be like, Xenia's like, I don't trust this offer. I'm not a Genasi, but
Personally,
I don't trust it.
personally,
I don't trust like that.
I would not take his offer. Whether you trust me or you do not, know that I was born and raised here, in this tribe, in this family, in this culture. I learned the value of what my ancestors did, just as all of you have. Yes, I know that there are hardships that face us, but we are stronger because of them. What you choose, again, is of your free will, but personally, I would not make the offer. At the very least, we know this plane. You do not know the Zodiacs or the power that they hold. You do not know what their high commander can do. And you don't know what kind of power he may wield. At the very least, we understand the Druids, the power that they do hold. And I offer you this, to understand us, me, my friends, our abilities, what we may do. I have risked my life once to save my tribe. I will do it 100,000 times over. Every life is worth it, is worth a fight. And if you look for a protector, I will serve myself upon you as one. Do with that
Okay.
as you will.
So, as the final check, and as the tiebreaker of the three, you have three options.
Oh god.
You have an Arcana check, as you used your knowledge of magic in the planes to do this.
Okay.
You have a Persuasion check, with advantage from the help of your friends. Or you can do an Intimidation check, with proficiency, due to you effectively raising cultural and effective fears of that portal. I'll let you pick which of the three options you'd like to use. Keep in mind, if you do the Arcana check, you can do a Feign point as well.
I was gonna say, which one has a higher DC? Or am I not allowed to know?
It's always going to be measured against the roll that Leo just made.
Okay. Alright. Can I talk this out amongst people, or do I have to make this up on my own?
I'll say this is... You've already made the speech. Just what do you think is most fitting to what you said? I'll let you know right now. I picked those three because they're all pretty much the same number.
Okay. I have my highest in Arcana, and at the very least I can make an advantage on it, so we're gonna do Arcana. I'm so
Okay.
scared.
That's okay. So, go ahead and make a check.
I clicked it.
Alright. Leo rolled a 16.
Look! I can feel my heart beating in my throat.
He's been rolling really low this whole time.
Oh my god!
Maybe his heart's
I might
not really in it. I don't know.
Oh, I might actually cry. I'm not even kidding.
So, as you finish your speech, you see there's like a shift in the crowd as people kind of note the finality of what you said. Leo kind of nods to you. Now that he's not facing the crowd, he gives you this smile. Go ahead and give me a insight check.
Don't trust.
Ash just had laser eyes on this man the whole time. Can he give
This
Esther
man is-
advantage here?
Yeah.
He's intentionally facing away from everyone but Esther.
This is wisdom. Can I do advantage?
Yeah, technically. Ashton, if you'd like to make a perception check to see if you can get an eye on him, go ahead.
Is
Aw,
this
fuck.
is this advantage at all?
It would be
So
disadvantage
scared.
normally, but it's advantage because it's an elemental.
Alright, so neutral perception?
Yeah.
24.
24. Okay, so with that, go ahead and make an insight check.
Alright.
Again, without advantage because you would have it, but difficult to say.
Alright.
Uh,
22.
oh.
Wait, no, Xenia is.
It's fine. You both beat the DC. It's okay.
Mhm.
So both of you note that smile. It's proud. Not as in pride. Like he's proud of Esther when he smiles like that. He kind of walks up to the platform and goes to shake your hand once more, Esther, and just says, "Despite our disagreements and our different homes, I hope we can work things out.
As
And I
do
hope we can both do what's best for the Genasi."
Do I. And I hope that the respect you give my people, I can help you as well with yours.
He just smiles. That smells a little bit colder than the last one. He reaches his hand out to go shake.
I'll shake his hand.
As you do so, the portal swirls and closes, and he says, "I will be in the eastern portion of this larger plaza for any who do wish to come by in the next few weeks. Please, if you have any more questions and wish to speak to my men who have lived there their whole life, you may. But that is all for now. After all, I think we took a good amount of your time." Hey, it looks kind of westward as the sun's not quite setting, but it is far lower in the sky than when this began. And as he walks away, people swarm the platform, Esther, asking you questions, pushing the rest of the party up with you, asking you questions about the fall of Peduncle, what it was like. How do you know Leo? What was the last decision? What was the deal you guys had to make? Why did you trust him last time? Do you not trust him this time? Do you think there's something else? Who's Ophiuchus? And that last question gets asked over and over again.
Don't say
Every
his
time
name.
someone says the name, there's another soft rumble, and people begin to catch on to what's going on with it, and they start looking a bit
Please.
more fearful.
Please, calm yourselves. I will
You know
ask.
that the magical amplification of her voice is no longer there.
Prestidigitation, can't that cast it?
It can magnify by 3 times, but keep in mind, people are, again, you're speaking to over like 20, 30,000 people.
Okay,
You magnify by 3 times, but that makes everyone.
Okay, it's the best that I can do right now.
Just letting you know.
Please.
What's the range of everyone? Like how big's the crowd?
This crowd, from the platform's point of view, which is lower down, so you can see pretty far out. Give me just an intelligence check, Ashley. It's a relatively low DC.
Yeah.
It's good enough to get an idea, as anyone who casts spells has to have a good idea of range. Easily people are piled up and talking among each other. Half a kilometer, 3/4 of a kilometer out. This place is just packed full of Genasi. You wouldn't be surprised if there's easily 100,000 people here. All in this radial ring in various heights and seats and densities.
Hey, Xenia.
Yeah.
You got silence?
Not.
No?
No, I do not.
Oh, give me some power then. Asher's gonna try to affect a wide dome of silence as he can, just temporarily. Just as a shock to the crowd.
I'll give Ash a little pat on the shoulder.
Yeah,
I'm
go
asking for
ahead.
your spell slots.
Oh, you have spell slots?
Yeah.
Oh!
Alright, first question. How many spell slots total are you guys expending? You can also defense too.
Yep.
Oh, do you want everyone to be quiet?
What I'm trying to do is basically to cut a silence across the crowd to get everyone's attention.
I'll use my 7th level spell slot for that, and a 5th.
I'm not trying to like hold the silence for
No, of
10
course.
minutes.
Like a pulse almost.
Yes.
I'll do a 5th and a 4th.
Okay, so 9
Ma-
for Xenia.
No, not 9. 13. I'll do 2 4th.
13. All right.
I'll do a 4 and 3 of my 2s.
4 and 3 of your 2s, so that's another 10, so 23 total spell slots.
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a
And-
wisdom check with guidance.
Neat. 21.
DC was 19. Alright.
As you just
You
point
walk-
like one finger up to the sky.
And as you do, there's this blow. What's the word? This. I'm going to use the classic analogy, like a ripple in a pond.
Mhm.
As this cold gust of air pushes through the crowd and kind of slows the breath of everyone for a second. And for a second, everyone's just quiet. Maybe 2 rounds total, basically, lasts.
Mhm.
And when it comes to the air, all comes rushing back towards the center and around Esther as it kind of jettisons into the air, lifting you like an inch off the ground, but it makes your hair dance wildly with the flames. As a lot of the crowd has quieted down. It didn't quite reach the edge, but it's the majority of the people here.
She'll try to make her voice as loud as physically possible and just, please. I know that all of you are frightened and confused. I can't answer every question at a time. We are only 5 voices. We can't speak 100 times over. I do ask, please do not speak the name that results in the ground shaking. If you do desire to address him as 13. Can Xenia do that?
Technically, can prestidigitation also magnify the voice, or is it just thaumaturgy?
Just
I have-
Okay.
Prestidigitation can.
No, just
Okay, so-
thaumaturgy.
But technically, I can't
Oh,
do
never
it on
mind then.
Esther. It's just
Okay.
on me.
So-
Yeah.
But I want to try it.
Yeah, so in that case, I'll say you've been doing it with thaumaturgy this whole time because I mixed up the spells.
Yeah, because I was double checking.
Okie dokie.
Thought you pressed.
Yep.
But I
That
have
was
one.
just too many mix-up spells. Yeah.
Oh, so it was possible that I could do it because
Yeah.
in the thing it's your voice, so I can do it. Okay.
I'm going to say you already managed to do so, just because I mixed up the spells.
I
Go ahead.
understand. I understand that there is fear. That there's confusion and there is uncertainty, and that is okay. But this is a time where we can discuss those things in a calm and civil manner. Where our High Council members will be able to take this knowledge and devote time into truly breaking down and understanding things. But the one thing that we cannot do is allow a spark of fear to run like a wildfire. Because that is how we fall apart. Right now, in this current moment, you are all safe. There's no sense in worrying about what may happen tomorrow, or a week from now, or a month, or a year, because the future is always uncertain. But what is important is that we take the knowledge of the now, and the knowledge of the past, and use it to craft a future in which we can all live in safety. And we will do so. So please, I understand that the presence of a Zodiac and the debate that followed may have been frightening to some. But things are going to be all right. It is okay. But please, I advise that you do not use the name that shakes the ground. Address him as 13. For speaking his name invokes a very powerful magic. One that I do not fully comprehend. So for safety's sake, simply refer to him as 13. If you have questions, if you would like to know things, please come up and ask me. Ask my friends. We are more than welcome to helping you understand what is going on outside the desert. If all you have heard is rumors, then perhaps seeing something through the eyes of another person who was there may help assuage your fears. But please do know But despite the wars and despite the fights, things are going to end up okay. And if none of that gives you solace, at least know I am fighting for you. All of you. Every man, woman, child. I will shed my blood and my sweat and my tears for you. Because this is my home and you are my people. And if you cannot fight, I will fight for you. So please try to at least take comfort in that.
As you finish your speech, the crowd behind you parts, and you see as the heads of the tribes have made their way to you, all kind of clustered together.
Fuck.
And they look up at you and say, I believe this is a good opportunity to come speak with us in our open-air council. The magics there will amplify your voice, and as is tradition, nothing spoken inside the council tent will be hidden from the people. Will you and your friends join us, Esther Macken?
And Esther turns to the rest of the group and just kind of feigns over. This is our chance.
Let's fucking run with it.
Mhm.
We're a bit far in to pull out now.
A little bit too far with the seed. Sorry. Sorry.
I have back.
I did it. And am I getting nods? Am I getting
Yes.
yeses?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I need to make sure. I need consent. Esther will kind of look at the Esther. Fuck.
God. Fuck.
Esther's gonna look to the councils and we accept, yes.
Right, and as you are led to the main chamber of conversation, which you note has been cleared of everyone but the main council, as despite what they were previously doing, it seems the crowd wasn't there to listen to them, and they went to go figure out why. I think that's where we're going to end the session. With you guys entering the main chamber of the Genasi tribe leaders, where anything spoken here, you are saying to the whole tribe, and you have the tribe's attention. This is something that basically any Genasi can choose to attune to anywhere within the city, and if they're attuned to it, they can hear what's going on there.
Big old radio.
Big boy
Live
radio waves.
broadcast.
Yep.
Genasi XM! Fuck!
So, with that, and with giving you guys a week to prepare your main points you want to make, that's what we're ending for today. Welcome back.
Woo! We had a break, they had a break.
Jesus
Now
Christ.
we're back. Oh boy. Alright.
What's a break?
Till
Okay.
next time.
Till next time.